The Opie and Anthony Show.
Opie and Anthony.
Radio Shock Jocks.
Opie and Anthony.
In the world of Radio Shock Jocks, the biggest are Opie and Anthony.
These people say shocking things that border on offensive in order to entertain their audience.
I refuse to sit here and think that radio has to be nice. Why? Why does radio, out of any other medium, have to be nice? We are being now held to a standard where we have to be nice and make people feel good. Go screw!
Radio Bad Boys, Opie and Anthony.
Controversial radio personalities, Opie and Anthony.
Infamous DJs, Opie and Anthony.
Talk show radio hosts, Opie and Anthony.
Opie and Anthony. Opie and Anthony.
Radio Shock Jocks, Opie and Anthony.
Opie and Anthony. Shock Jocks, Opie and Anthony. Shock Jocks, Opie and Anthony. Opie and Anthony. Shock Jocks, Opie and Anthony. Opie and Anthony.
Play a prostitute with bipolar.
Me too.
Fantastic. Jimmy's in love. Wonderful. Both qualities I look for when I meet someone.
You're a sick freak!
All right, Chris Benoit.
Oh, boy.
I leaned on the machine by accident and it hit a button.
This is where entertainment is going.
How fast did you get it up to?
180 miles an hour.
What's the matter with you, idiot? Cut the
It's time for people to understand these are words. If you don't like them, turn the dial.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Attention, attention. Attention to all potential radio listeners. If you're a fan of Sex and the City, this program is not for you. Go away. Nothing to see here. Go away. Nothing to see here.
Or if you're a cast member.
Yeah.
You might not want... Or if you're a cast member's husband who was in a real cool movie back in the 80s. Don't listen.
We think Sex and the City sucks.
A lot of coverage.
A lot of coverage. We didn't even prepare for our radio show today. And, you know, we like to joke and say, we don't prepare. We just come in and, we just make it up as we go along.
Wing it.
But, no, we really do prepare for this radio show. We work our asses off. But today in the office, for the whole hour, we were obsessed with finding pictures of the Sex and the City crew.
The big premiere happening in London.
Oh, it was London?
Yeah.
Why didn't they have it in New York? I mean, the whole freaking movie's based on New York City.
Based in New York. We had to sit through traffic where they closed down streets to film this stupid show, a movie about the show.
Yeah.
And they had the premiere in London. Not that I even care. But apparently they're doing that, and then it's going to be in Germany.
We care for different reasons.
No, we care. Believe me. Yes, we do care.
So we've been collecting all the Sex and the City photographs from the newspapers today.
Can't get enough.
There's a bunch of doozies.
The first thing I said when I walked in, I opened up the newspaper and I said, "Is this a joke? Is the Sex and the City movie a joke?" Because these are 4 hags that are trying to pull off this sexy image.
Well, I'd say 3 out of 4 of that. Kristen Davis. Oh, wow, wait a minute.
What?
I'm going to start talking like one of these broads. That Kristen
you got
Davis.
Your tickets yet? Did you go to Fandango there, Opie, and order them in advance?
It's tough to say that Kristen Davis is a hag. She's
the dark-haired one?
Yeah, I think she's...
All right, she's probably the best out of the lot.
I think she's a bit youthful. But this freaking Sarah Jessica Parker, she hasn't been a sex symbol since L.A. Story. Will you stop? Stop with the Sarah Jessica Parker being a sex symbol.
She hasn't been a sex symbol since that TV show she was on. Which one was that? That old?
Oh, wow, you're going way back. Was it Silver Spoons or something?
No, it was something like that, because that's the name that popped into my head. I can't remember what the hell it was.
Well, Sarah Jessica Parker, she wore an acorn on her head for the premiere in London.
Yeah.
It can only be described as a green acorn cap.
It's an acorn cap, and then it's got, like, branches and butterflies on it.
Yeah. And... man, they caught her on a side view, and this, wow, she looks like Ruth Buzzy. I know I've been saying that for years and years and years, but look at that picture. That's Ruth Buzzy from Laugh-In.
Yeah, she looks like Ruth Buzzy.
In a dress, in a nice dress.
And then she wears this dress. She's supposed to look sexy and everything, and there's back fat flab, or whatever it is. Because she's not fat.
It's loose skin.
Is it loose skin?
It's just loose skin. Yeah, because she's not fat. She's a tiny little thing, but the skin is losing its its bounce back.
it's snap back.
It's snapping.
It ain't snapping back.
No.
So yeah, she's all over the place. Her pictures, but none as horrific as Samantha herself, Kim Cattrall.
I'm pushing 60, but I'm on the hunt. Ugh.
This song makes me mad. I can't listen to this and not get angered. I don't know anyone who watched this show. I never watched it. But it was you couldn't watch anything else on HBO without it just invading your privacy.
Right.
Like you want to watch Sopranos or something, and on the next Sex in the City, Samantha's going to be banging 20 guys.
Right.
Wow. Because they're all after her. Because she's so hot. Am I to believe that?
Well, no.
She is so past cougar. She's a puma.
What's a puma?
I don't know. It's like an old cougar. It's just
a mangy cougar.
Just a mangy old has to be put down cougar. There's pictures of her now. When did Sex and the City first air on HBO?
Dude, we were at NEW, so
yeah, it had to be
10 years ago.
Like 10 years ago.
Well, yeah, because Gary Wall was a big fan back in the day.
Was he?
Oh yeah, he actually
98.
In one of
10 years.
In one of our sessions with him, he said, "You guys should watch Sex and the City because it gives you a nice little overview of what New York's all about."
No, it doesn't.
Because the girls are out and about.
Are they?
They're hanging at all the hot spots in New York City.
Sure they are.
And all the landmarks. It would be good for your show because it would give you just a good variety of what this city's all about.
And it's just guys are all over them all the time.
Right. They don't know how to keep it away from them.
Kim Cattrall was what? I guess 41 or something like that when the show first started.
And that's pushing it. I'm sorry.
That's... Well, as far as being... Look, let's be realistic.
For a show
as far as a TV show...
That's called Sex in the City.
That's Sex in the City, and it's supposed to be like, attractive, hot women that are out and about and whatever. Yeah, that's pushing it on television.
Yeah.
It's 10 years later.
Yeah.
She's 51 years old.
Well, she's admitting to 51.
Admitting to 51.
She's 50 flurf.
That means she was 10 in Porky's.
She's got a little 50 flurf going on.
50 flurf.
It is Hollywood. Come on. Just going to admit to 51. Is that brave to admit that you're 51?
How short from 51 is 69? Wait a minute.
I owe you 18.
Oh, din, 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 din. Shut up. I had to do it. So she's like 50 flurf. And she looks terrible. I mean, it's just not... And look, I'm not saying she can't do movies or television or that certain gentlemen don't find her attractive.
Yeah.
But in this situation where it's supposed to be, she's Samantha, the sex-crazed, one of the foursome.
Boy, I wonder how many guys she's going to bang in the movie.
Do you honestly think this broad is going to be at some Manhattan hotspot and have guys just fawning over her?
Yeah.
She's got wacky eye that they get from facelifts.
If it's an Ethiopian bar, sure.
And when was that from?
That was
from like 1986?
No, that's 2003. Well, she's got the small boobies. So they don't have as many problems.
Nice rack, though.
No,
nice
there's
skin.
not. She looks square. Her boobies are square. Boobies, listen to me.
Speaking of square,
they're square, and
see, look what you did.
I don't like her.
You shut down the show by showing us nudity. We're on a rant about this Sex and the City movie that premiered in London, and then you got the other one that isn't. She's a lesbian now, so you can't even look at her anymore. She's like her girlfriend or wife or whatever is more manly than Steve, and she's in this Sex and the City movie making believe she likes men. And then they
gay. Which one's gay? I don't know anything about these people.
Cynthia Nixon came out of the closet a few years back, and she's got a very, very, very butchy.
Oh yeah,
significant other.
She's the girl in that relationship.
Yeah. Well, oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Her significant other likes to wear those Nantucket sweatshirts, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And she's got that. She's got the safe hair,
the mullet,
because it's easy to take care of, in the morning when you're out and about doing your thing.
Of course.
And then Vogue. Dude, this is all we're obsessed with today. We don't even know what's going on. I think there's like 20,000 people dead in China, whatever. All we're looking for is Sex in the City.
Sex in the City.
And then Vogue has Sarah Jessica Parker on the cover of their magazine. And listen to what the Daily News writes. It's carrying big like you've never seen them before. Legendary photographer Annie Leibovitz steams up.
She's steaming up, all right.
Steams up the June issue of Vogue magazine with some of the most seductive shots ever seen of Sarah Jessica Parker.
Stop it. You're not getting the most seductive shots ever of her.
Not at all.
It's not, I don't get it. This is like a joke. They're not a representation of what guys in New York find attractive.
By the way, the picture that where it says it's steaming up the June issue and the most seductive shot is Sarah Jessica Parker. It looks like she's in kind of a really nice hotel room, and she's got her hands on the floor behind her.
Yeah.
And her legs spread in front of her, and they're on the floor as well.
Yeah.
So she's holding herself up, and she's got some kind of like cocktail dress on, and Mr. Big there is in a chair with a video camera, and he's shooting Sarah Jessica Parker, and it looks like he's shooting right for ground zero.
Yeah, he's got the camera pointed right there, doesn't he?
Wow, that's hot. Hot and steamy.
When she got on the floor like that, I hear a crew came in to build a tent around her to have her put down, and then she had to tell them, "No, I'm Sarah Jessica Parker."
I thought
and my wrists are fine.
I was going to go with a Teamsters scaffolding joke to rebuild what has been obviously damaged by time.
Isn't it funny they call him Mr. Big? They're talking about his cock.
Wow.
Is that why they call him Mr. Big?
I don't know.
Probably.
Is it?
And then at the London premiere, you could be just like the Sex and the City girls. We got some.
Jesus.
Oh, my God. Who farted?
Was that Jimmy?
Wow.
No.
Nobody?
The cloud hasn't come over here yet.
It might be my food pocket acting. All right. Anyway.
You can't tell a fart from your food pocket. There's a problem.
I'm just keeping the food pocket bit alive on our show. I took care of that a while ago, just in case you're wondering. So then Sex Goes Global. They had the premiere in London, and then you got four British Bettys, trying to imitate the Sex and the City girls.
They're all holding what looks to be cosmopolitans.
Oh, yeah.
And they're all there just like the Sex and the City gals. Look, we're just like the four birds from Sex and the City. Are you? And just when you think that the Sex and the City girls look bad, the fans are even worse. You know what Sex and the City does? It gives hope to old broads. Because they watch and go, oh, I could do that. And then they wind up sitting in a bar, getting hammered.
Yeah.
And not one guy is coming up to them.
Yeah. And then some businessman from Des Moines, Iowa is picking you up and, just using you as a you-know-what.
Throw you one.
Right. There's nothing sexy about it. He just has to get the poison out.
The poison out. Oh, it's just...
What was the other thing? Oh, and then this, the Daily News also writes, Sex in the City, 17 days to go. The countdown has begun. We have to go see this movie. You know that, right?
Do we? Oh, look, now they're showing it up on TV there. Good, we get some moving pictures.
Look what she's wearing.
She is wearing something on her head.
She's wearing
that should be
bush.
Taken off by Oswald.
It's a shooting target.
Why is she wearing an acorn? I don't get it.
Because she's so wild.
No, because if you know anything about Sex and the City, she was all about the fashions, and she turned on a lot of women out there to the latest fashions.
Did she?
No one's going to be wearing an acorn on their head, you dope.
I just want to know. How do you know that?
Huh?
How do you know that?
It's just pop culture.
Is it?
Yes.
You sure about that?
Yes. Yes. I'm
Have
very
you
sure.
watched a full episode of Sex in the City?
Wait, she was, that's a damn good point, by the way. She always had on nutty outfits.
Oh,
What?
she was the gal that just would wear wild stuff.
Don't you remember the one where they were looking for another?
You know what?
That episode where
not one guy will call and back me up. I know, but they're out there and they know this point is true.
Guys will back you up, all right, if you know that show.
She was all about.
As you bite a pillow.
She was all about just wearing ridiculous fashion.
Was she?
Statements.
Yeah.
Yes. Big bows and big oversized flowers on her dresses.
Really?
Yes.
Oh. I didn't know that.
I would never know that. Honest to God.
Look, man. You got to, pay attention to stuff out there if you do a radio show. You got to be on top of pop culture.
Hi, I need one ticket to the Sex and the City movie.
No.
You look familiar. No, I'm not. I'm not Opie. Okay, one ticket. Yeah, one ticket.
I say we go as a show.
Oh,
Dude,
is that it?
It would be the greatest radio show the day after. We will be so angry that we had to sit through this crap. And the mole.
If we get to ruin it for people.
Can I talk about the mole on Sarah Jessica Parker's face?
Where is it?
It's not sexy. Maybe it was sexy, 10, 15 15 years ago. It's not sexy. You go to a dermatologist, they burn that crap off in seconds.
There's,
Get rid of it. Get rid of it.
Yeah, there's the Cindy Crawford thing. And I guess once you get older and they start popping out, looking like a Cocoa Puff,
they start getting a little puffy.
Yeah. It's time to maybe go to the dermatologist and get it removed.
Look, I had a few removed because, you could get them removed in this day and age.
Yeah.
Get them off your face.
But it's like,
you're not Cindy Crawford back in the day.
The day.
Because she's having her own issues these days.
You don't want to be...
Yikes.
It's too close to the mouth. You don't want to be making out there and getting a bit...
Your tongue, goes over the mole and you feel
like 3 hairs?
Yeah, you feel that one or two.
What is that?
Look at that mole.
Look at the whole package. That's supposed to be sexy? What is that?
I don't know.
It's Sarah Jessica Parker.
She's getting married, man. To Mr. Big.
To Mr. Big.
I wonder if
I get it.
I wonder if they really get married or something happens at the last second.
He trips over it walking down the aisle.
The mole? Yeah.
The mole.
Or he caves her back in and she has to be in the hospital.
Yeah. Cracks her pelvis.
Mr. Big finally hits.
Oh, God, E-Rock.
Look at that mole.
It's like Google Map. He's going up on her face really close.
That mole now looks like the face on Mars.
Yeah.
It's got that same look to it. Maybe you could do a little split screen.
It's got shadowing going on it and everything.
The Sarah Jessica Parker mole and the face on Mars.
Look at the wicking that is happening with her lipstick, too.
Yeah.
Like that comes from those pruny lips. When they get to pruny lips and the lipstick wicks down the little rivers that are coming off of her lips.
Oh, it's like a dried out riverbed. That's what happens to the ladies when they get a little older.
Why would they make a movie like that? Why would they make a movie like this where it's supposed to be that they're the hot women about town?
They probably should have made this movie 10 years ago.
Ugh.
10 years ago. These dopes were sitting around. The show ended on HBO, 2-3 years ago?
Yeah.
And these dopes sat around trying to negotiate movie contracts. Idiots, you're getting old by the hour.
Yeah.
Sign the dumb contract so maybe you look kind of the part.
Makeup people just kind of went, oh, no. Oh, Jesus.
Let's say hi to Psycho Bob. Psycho Bob.
Could you just please stop? Just put on a word stop. Please, punching out.
All right. Thank you, sir. Let's go to Chris in Boston listening on BCN. Chris, what's going on, buddy?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hey.
Opie, you're absolutely right. Ruth Buzzy reincarnated. I've been saying it for years. My wife loves the show, and all it is 4 women whining. I call it Douches in the City is the name I have for it.
Yeah.
Out here it's on at 10 o'clock at night, on HBO, and I'm laying in bed trying to go to sleep, and all I can hear is Sarah Jessica Parker's whiny voice about how she's never getting laid, about how everything goes wrong for her, and it's just the worst show ever created.
I guess this is how women act when we're not around. It's kind of scary.
I try to ask my wife if that's the case. I mean, when you go out with your 3 girlfriends, is this what you guys sit around and do?
Yeah.
No, and she says, yeah, we kind of relate to it. They talk.
Oh, stop!
You gotta be kidding me. I'm saying there's not better things to talk about than just whining about the BS that goes on in a woman's life day to day. And that's why it's so big with the women. They seem to relate to what the crap they're talking about.
Well, the headline here is these bras are nowhere near hot enough for a show called Sex in the City.
No.
Simple as that.
Right.
And the time was a bitch. And, they should have made the movie years ago if they were going to make it. And
and get us more pictures because we're obsessed with this today. Wally,
pictures.
Long Island, what's up?
Hey, Wally.
Yeah, listen, I'm hoping Sarah Jessica Parker is in her trailer listening to this right now.
Yeah, well, we kind of did this rant back in the day, and Sarah Jessica Parker actually called our show because the guy that was working the movie trailer that day was a huge fan of our show, and he had it on in the background while she was getting makeup for Sex in the City. And next thing you know, she called up our show and bitched us out.
She was angry with us.
She was angry, saying,
you guys don't understand that people listen.
People listen.
And the people that you talk about could be listening, and
we have feelings,
And we folded.
Oh, of course we did.
We just folded.
Well, then she invited us down to the movie set or the HBO set, and Aunt and I were going to hire male models.
GQ models to go down there.
And then
let's see what you guys look like. Go down there and let's see what you come down here and we'll see what you look like. It's like, okay, get 2 GQ models, right? Send them down there as us.
Yeah, but the point is, we're not.
Yeah, this isn't Sex and the Opie and Anthony show.
We're not on the radio acting like we're 2 sexy guys.
Sex symbols.
You should be.
Oh, thank you, James.
We're not acting like that. When you're on a show called Sex in the City, you better be damn hot.
Right.
Let's say hi to Josh in Boston listening on BCN. Josh.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hi.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I think Jessica Sarah Parker, or whatever her name is probably the most unattractive woman I've ever seen in my life.
Oh.
My chick made me watch that show one time, and Kim Cattrall had cancer in that episode, and the whole time I was hoping she was going to die.
Yeah, Kim Cattrall, I didn't see that episode, sir.
Did they do that?
But I'm assuming while she had cancer, she was still trying to search out some men.
Oh, well, let me tell you. Some of the doctors giving me chemo are just the hottest. Oh, yeah, because that's what a doctor wants.
Right.
Some middle-aged cancer patient. Thanks. Wow, this broad's beautiful. I went to medical school, and
I can't keep myself away from her.
Wow.
Oh, my God, man.
Jesus, did they go that route?
Stacy, North Carolina.
Hey, you guys got to get that head to Carolina pretty soon, right?
Your name is Stacy?
Absolutely.
All right, bro. You watched Sex and the City back in the day?
You know, in my sea of an ex-wife, dude, I was young and didn't know any better. And that was one of the concessions I made before I knew any better. Dude.
Everyone's got an excuse.
That was, yeah, exactly. That was in the past. And, man, I haven't even thought of it for years. And now all the movie hype and everything, and now I'm going over douche chills now hearing it again.
Was it a funny show? I've never seen it. Was it a funny show?
It was. It was enraging.
Really? Okay.
Because it was just so not believable on any level that these broads had their pick of men.
Mr. Big. I used to like him when he was on Law and Order, but now I watch Law and Order reruns and think how much of a dick he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is, I guess, the woman's point of view. It's like what women like to think things are like.
Yeah.
And it's unrealistic.
So 17 days to go before the big movie is out for everybody.
That's great. I'd have sex with him if my uterus hadn't fallen out.
Just play that music all day long.
Oh, God.
Oh,
when did they play this music in the show? It's a horrendous song.
At the beginning.
This was the intro, yeah.
That's when I knew to change HBO, because I guess this came on. When did this come on? It was after something that I used to watch. I think.
Was The Sopranos 98? I don't think it was that long.
Maybe. I don't know. But then this song come on. I couldn't get to the remote quickly enough. Just get this off. Yeah.
All right, we got to take our first break, but pretty much obsessed with the pictures that are coming out from this dumb movie.
Yeah.
We got to talk about Sue Simmons here in New York. Oh, what a potty mouth.
A little potty mouth on Sue Simmons. We'll see if there's any repercussions.
Gives a crap. It's a news girl here in New York. She's been on TV since 1980 or something like that. Probably even before 1980. 1880. What? 1880? But I'm bummed. And a lot of outrage because she cursed.
Hey, he gets his first crash.
Stunt brain gets a crash.
Oh, hold on. Stop it. She couldn't be that. That'll make her too old.
Yeah. Someone is saying that they airbrush every frame in that movie section.
Every frame? Holy Jesus.
Who's got that job?
Airbrush. Like you're sitting there. Every frame.
Only 5.2 million frames to go.
Yeah.
To get these broads looking sexy.
I'm just going to say they called in Industrial Light and Magic to
Yeah. Well, in the last X-Men, they did. In the last X-Men, they had that one scene where they had Charles and what's his name there? The other guy,
Bill.
Magneto. Yeah, and they actually did do that. They made them look younger.
Oh,
because they were supposed to be, years earlier.
Nice.
So it can be done, but wow, for an entire movie, that was for one scene, and I can only imagine how long it took for them to do that. Imagine 4 of these broads for an entire movie. They're just
frame by frame by frame.
Some poor bastards sitting in front of a computer just going, oh, God. Another frame of Kim Cattrall.
You know, the hot one.
This is going to, all the fans start up on the computers he's using. Taking up a lot of processor power.
Oh, there they are on...
They're everywhere. Oh, they're everywhere. Look at it. Oh, Kim Cattrall's got the mole, too.
Yeah, they all... Well, yeah, that's what happens.
She got the mole.
You know, the older you get, whatever mole you got on your body starts taking on a life of its own.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
And they can snip that crap in seconds at a dermatologist.
She looks good.
That's Kristen Bell. That's her...
That's her girlfriend?
Yeah, it looks like Ellen DeGeneres with really bad red curly hair.
It's red curly hair guy.
That's a guy. How could she be a lesbian if her chick is a guy? How does that work? Does anyone know how that works?
Yeah, that's so odd.
Like, if you're a lesbian, but...
Don't you want a girl?
But your girl looks more like a guy than most guys out there, then are you really a lesbian? I get confused with that stuff.
Yeah, very confusing.
All right, we got to take a break. China, they're saying 10,000 dead. I'm thinking that number's
perhaps more than that.
Way low. And, you know, they're not going to release numbers.
No, they'll never know.
They're doing their own thing over there. We'll talk about the earthquake next. Sue Simmons being a potty mouth. And other things, of course.
Yeah, things.
Phone number 877-212-ONA. Opie and Anthony. Good morning, Opie and Anthony. There's a lot of interesting stories in the paper today. You got a woman falling off a cruise ship.
Oops, another one.
I laugh because she didn't fall off no cruise ship. It's our humble opinion that there was an oopsie that occurred.
Oopsie.
It's the best way to get rid of someone you don't like.
I don't know if anyone's ever been convicted of murder for throwing someone off a cruise ship. God, it seems like the best way to kill somebody.
Hard to prove. They never find them.
Yeah, that's what happens. Now, the latest woman, she's with some guy, I guess her boyfriend, and it's 45 miles off of Atlantic City. So you're in the ocean. You're in the Atlantic Ocean. And, oopsie, she falls overboard. And then the guy reports her missing.
Anthony, you've been on a lot of these. Not a lot. A few.
Yeah, a lot of cruises.
Actually, a lot, I guess. Okay. Yeah. Isn't it kind of hard to fall off a cruise ship?
It is so damn hard. You have to, on purpose, you have to throw yourself over the rail. And then hope you don't, like, hit maybe a lifeboat or the walkway around the ship that's wider than the part that you're jumping off of. You can't just fall off of these things. Really, especially since it's not heavy seas or anything. You don't have waves crashing over the bow.
Yeah.
And you really would have to, on purpose, throw yourself off.
Well, here's the story.
What he told me on the phone was she fell over the railing
and fell.
Oh, yeah, this is the mom. You know, I feel bad for the family, obviously, but come on. Something's going on here. I guess the boyfriend had to call the mom.
Yeah.
This is what you're hearing.
How long after did he report her missing, though? Like, if they wait a while.
3 days.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He says she fell over the rail. Right then is right there is she falling over the rail. What are you reaching for? What are you climbing up on the rail?
You got to say you don't know. You just were separated for a while. You were on the bowl, and you thought she was around on the ship somewhere.
Yeah.
Buy yourself some time.
Yeah, no kidding. This is so suspicious. All of these are suspicious.
All of them are.
Yeah.
What he told me on the phone was she fell over the railing and fell to something down on the lower deck, and that he ran to try to save her, but she lost her grip and fell.
Oh, that doesn't sound good at all.
No, he's lying.
She fell. She was holding on to something. He tried to save her. So I guess right away he said, "Oh, she just fell over."
Right.
Or that's so he says.
And then she's holding on, and you think he's taking his sneaker to her fingers,
just pounding away at her face. That's probably the best thing to do is you throw someone off, then you wait, and then you run and go, "Oh my God, they just fell overboard." That way they're only looking around the area right around the ship at that time. Meanwhile, you left her in the dust.
Are there cameras on the ships at all, though?
Oh yeah, yeah.
All
there
right,
are
so
cameras.
you might have to just you have to know where the cameras are not.
Yeah,
when
that's
you do
true.
It. But you also.
Well, if you're going to kill your spouse, you got to do a little work. You can't just
got to do your homework.
Got to do your homework. You got to look around and see where you can see cameras and all that. Go to an area where it is less populated. Make sure it's later at night after you had a few.
Maybe was it the balcony of a room, perhaps? A railing on a walkway. Like they don't give you enough details.
Philadelphia area mother is devastated. Digesting the news, her 46-year-old daughter was the victim of a cruel accident at sea. Mindy Jordan was on board the Norwegian Dawn cruise ship on her way from Manhattan to Bermuda. Around 8 p.m. Sunday night, 45 miles off the Atlantic City coast, she reportedly fell overboard.
See, they're saying reportedly.
Reportedly.
Because everyone.
She ridiculously fell overboard.
You can't get convicted for murder for a push. That's almost impossible.
Push.
It's hard to prove, you're right.
How would you prove that if there's no camera around?
Unless there's
no evidence left behind.
Your teeth prints in her knuckles when they find her.
Right.
And your shoe print on her forehead. It was helping.
Well, that's just it. They never find these people.
No, I wonder if sharks get them or just sea animals
little sea animals. First they come, they pluck your eyeballs out, and you're just floating around there with no eyeballs. And then they eat your lips away.
You remember we did the story back in the day. Some guy fell off an aircraft carrier, and it was legit. He was fooling around, and I forgot exactly the details, but he fell, and he's in the water, and he watches the aircraft carrier just going on its merry way because no one saw him fall off the ship. Could you imagine the fear of being in the ocean?
Like, oh boy.
And there's the boat just going in the distance.
And no one knows you're missing.
No one knows. You can't yell loud enough to get anyone's attention.
Like, when is somebody going to figure out I'm missing?
Well, this guy, because he was, he was a Navy guy. He was able to survive. He figured out some stuff. Skills. And like a fisherman's boat picked him up days later, something like that.
Did he have a boat or anything with him, like a light boat? Nothing?
Hell no. He was just floating around the ocean, and
he took his pants off and tied up the legs and the waist.
How do you tie the waist?
I don't know. He actually crumpled it, I think, and then he would blow air into one leg and hold that and use that as a float.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to even tie up the waist area, actually, because all you have to do is get air in it. You know what I mean? And the air would be above the water.
Still float.
But holes in the knees, that would suck.
But he
should have taken care of that.
He had to keep blowing up the leg of his pants like every 5 minutes or something ridiculous. But he did it, and a fisherman's boat came around. And the guy survived. It was on like 60 Minutes or one of those shows. It was an amazing story.
How happy are you when you see that boat show up?
Oh, wow.
Toodaloo.
Oh,
hello.
Wow. So the next clip here, more to the story that's happening today. If you think that your life means anything,
yeah,
it means something to your loved ones and some friends of yours. maybe one or two coworkers. That's it.
Yeah.
Outside that circle of people, your life doesn't mean crap to the rest of the world.
Nope.
This is a perfect example of that. Listen to this.
Coast Guard choppers were searching for her from 10 p.m. to 3 in the morning, but no sign of life.
So are you telling me they didn't even find her body?
We have, we want them to find her. We're still hoping that they find her.
Julie, they're not even looking anymore.
Cruise managers initially dispatched a small rescue boat, but after the Coast Guard arrived, the captain resumed his course to Bermuda.
Of course. Wah, feeling hot, hot, hot. That's it. Yeah.
Hey, they make it look good, but it's like, hey, we got to get to Bermuda. These people want to do some parasailing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're sorry for the inconvenience. We're back on course to Bermuda. And remember to sign up for that Contiki cruise that will be taking, the booze cruise tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun once we get to Bermuda. Don't mind the person that fell overboard and died a horrible death.
Also want to remind you, it's casino night. Casino night.
Yeah, go down to the casino. Check out the band, too. Really, really got a great reggae band down there tonight. Try not to fall overboard. We really want to keep on schedule.
You might notice the music's going to be a little louder tonight on the cruise ship. That's to muffle the sounds of horror.
We want to muffle the sounds of crying coming from cabin 2403.
So don't mind the louder music today.
This is fun. Can have one-on-one.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. But I went with a hell of a lot of people. I went like family and friends and everything. A lot of fun.
First thing we're going to do when we get to Bermuda is get rid of old Buzzkill.
Yeah.
The party must go on.
Yes, we'll be dropping the murderer off at the airport.
I mean the
boyfriend.
The boyfriend.
Right. The boyfriend.
Yeah, you do a bunch of it's like you're kind of taking your hotel room with you to various beaches.
Hey,
stuff.
You didn't say rock coat this time around.
The rock coat. That was Patrice's bit. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I bought her a rock coat, man. The rock coat.
Feeling hot.
Right to the bottom. Feeling hot, hot. People, there's a horrible death. People are in mourning. Let's say, the guy didn't do it. He's got to be feeling horrid.
Yeah.
And there it is. There's the conga line. He looks out his window.
You know what, though? As
Just
human
sees people conga lining.
As human beings, we're all the same.
Yeah.
All they had to do is get a few distractions on board, and it's business as usual. Maybe a few drinks laying around for free.
That's it, right?
Some kind of limbo contest. All of a sudden appears. You're like, you get a distraction.
Ooh, look at that.
You forget about the chatter that someone might have fallen overboard.
Did you hear somebody? Oh, dirty banana!
Hey, who wants a
dirty banana, man? Let me have one. Could you top it off with an extra shot of rum, please? Oh, yeah. What were you saying? I forgot. Woo! Yeah. Woo!
Hey, you gonna go see that Sex and the City movie?
Did you hear what happened on board? It seems a woman. Midnight buffet! Oh my God! Ice sculptures! All right, chocolate buffet at midnight. Woo! Feeling hot, hot, hot. So what were you saying? I don't know. Let's go to the buffet.
A lot of people checking in. I mean, we got our expert in studio. Anthony's been on a bunch of cruises, but a lot of people checking in going, look, I took a cruise on that particular ship. Wait, Pete might have more info. Pete, Long Island, what's up, buddy?
The boyfriend. She was getting lippy.
Yeah.
How you doing? Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
How are you?
Hey, good.
All right to the point.
I was on that ship. I gave my kids free reign on that ship to run around it, and I said, just don't climb up, because you'll fall off. There's no way you're falling off that ship.
Yeah. It's just like there were kids running around.
Yeah.
There's no place on the railing that you could just, oopsie, and topple over the thing, unless you're drunk and climbing over for some ridiculous reason. But
yep, that was the first cruise I took with my kids, and I told my kids they had free reign on the boat, and they came back. So you ain't falling off that ship.
So I think you get probably people that want to kill their significant other, or crimes of passion, where there's a lot of drinking going on those ships. There's a lot of hanky-panky, things like that. So maybe if this guy sees her, gets a little jealous that there's stuff going on, get back to the room, you crack her in the head, you throw her overboard.
How do you lug her body with cameras and other... What do you...
Well, I don't think there's cameras everywhere, especially in the rooms. There's no cameras on your balcony or anything like that.
You get balconies?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Very nice. Well, I did.
Nice.
You have her,
it's wonderful.
You have her do the Titanic thing, and then you just give her a push while she's up there. I'm on top of the rail.
Yeah. Oh, now, let go of the rail. Go ahead.
Just like in the movie.
This is so romantic.
I feel the wind in my hair.
I can't believe how romantic you've gotten on this cruise. Damn it. oh, there it is. Yeah. Why don't we go to the bow, sweetie? We'll go to the bow, me and you, and remember that scene from Titanic? Me and you will reenact it. Are you kidding? No.
This is wonderful. It's the middle of the night. No one's out here. It's just you and me.
I really want to do that. I think, okay, there you go. Now climb up front. Be careful. We want you to slip. There we go. Oh.
No, go up one more.
Go up a little higher.
A little higher.
No, I'm right behind you. I'm right behind you.
I'm right here, sweetie.
All right. Now, shut your eyes and spread your arms like wings. There you go, honey.
Oh,
there you go.
It's a little wobbly.
There
up
you
here.
go, you bitch. Bye-bye. Oh, God.
You don't know how to read lips, do you?
What's the matter, E-Rock?
I was lipping. Now feeling hot. Should have been right.
Yeah. Well, of course.
See the juxtaposition in the bit.
Juxtaposition.
You go for the right from the romantic.
Little
music.
romance.
That's party.
Reader. Or word reader, actually.
All right.
Food reader.
Let's go to Michigan. Lauren, what's up?
Hey there.
How are you, Lauren?
You were talking about that kid that fell off the aircraft carrier. That was the America back in '95.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was on that ship
You were.
when he fell off. Yeah.
What was the details? Why did he fall off? Was he? I kind of remember. Go ahead.
He claimed he got hit by a door that was swinging out on what they call a sponson, little balcony. But those doors on those aircraft carriers are about 6 inches thick, steel, about 300 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would hurt.
It was. Yeah.
Did he die?
In the Adriatic. It was like 2 days that went on that they were looking for him on the ship before they finally announced that he was,
He was overboard.
The water was pretty warm there, wasn't it? It would have to be.
Wow, for a guy that was on the ship, you don't have a lot of detail.
He's just keeping it quiet.
Yeah, like
military secrets. He went out for a long pass on the deck, and
Oh, you mean he was on the military ship?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A big door swung and hit him?
Nah, that's not how I remember
That's what he
it.
claimed.
All right, thank you, sir.
They say aircraft carriers are so big that you could be
How
on there.
big are they?
They say
They're so big.
you could be on there with your brother, and you might not see him. I heard that. I did hear that.
I've been watching that show, Carrier, on Discovery. It's a whole documentary on it's not about you, Jimmy. Carrier. Pretty interesting stuff, though. There's like a lot of girls on these ships now.
Yeah.
And there's relationships going on, and they're not supposed to, but they do. And there's about 5,000 people on a carrier, 1,000 of which are women. So there's 4,000 guys, 1,000 women.
Wow. What a nightmare.
Whoa.
What a nightmare for both parties.
These 5,000 and none, though. I mean, it used to be all guys.
Well, also, think about it. From watching the show, there's probably about 200 attractive
That's
girls.
what I was getting at, too.
And 800 are just like, I think, lesbians and very burly women. And they hook up, though. Even the ugly ones. I think it's a good place for ugly girls to go because it's a 5-to-1 ratio there.
Yeah, why not?
Be somebody you hug. You're a 1 in New York, but you're an 8.5 on the high seas.
Exactly.
All right, one more story, then we got to move on. Lauren in Greenlawn, the home of Harborfield High School. My God, my high school. What's up, Lauren?
Hi, guys. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Great.
I was actually on the Norwegian Dawn last year, and this guy, who must have been like 68 years old, died in the casino.
That's a death ship there. What is with the Norwegian Dawn?
Yeah, he died right in the casino, and we were about 2 days away from Bermuda.
Oh.
And, yeah.
They just put him with the turkeys.
Now, Lauren, be honest. How long were you affected by this news? 5 minutes? 10 minutes?
I was probably a little creeped out for the first day.
For the first day?
Once I noticed that they didn't get a helicopter to the boat, I was like, there's a dead guy on the boat.
Dead guy on the boat.
That's a good
I was not fond of that idea.
That is pretty creepy.
That is a
but-
good point. You know, somewhere on this boat, it's a dead guy.
I bet they have a morgue.
You would assume it's probably way away from people,
Yeah,
but it's
probably
probably in some freaking room that they just someone had a last minute cancellation.
Oh, you think he's like laying in the bed?
Yeah, put dead guy in that room.
I bet Jimmy's right. I bet there is a morgue on board.
You think?
Like in the
like a freezer
in
or
the
something?
sick bay or something. There's like a single drawer.
probably
They just figure
They
just need
probably
one.
just put you in the freezer with the shrimp.
Yeah, with the chocolate for the midnight buffet, the ice sculptures. You're sitting there with the dolphin,
right?
And a swan.
Enough about the shrimp. We get it.
How many
Eat
people
all
are
you
on a
want.
cruise? How big's your cruise?
About 200, 250 people.
Perhaps more than that.
I thought it was more.
No, you'll get about.
All right, thank you.
About 4,000 people.
Really, that many?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're huge. The ships are gigantic.
You can't even tell that you're in the water for the most part.
Yeah.
Unless you're, outside and you go, oh, water. That's
Unless
right.
you're
I'm
falling
on a
into
ship.
it.
I'm more a Royal Caribbean guy myself than Norwegian, but I took one Norwegian cruise, and that was pretty nice.
I wish I had gone on one with my girlfriend.
Mm.
I never did that.
And now you never will, or what?
No.
With that, we got to take a break. Opie and Anthony. We got some good instant feedback coming in on the Opie and Anthony show. Army guy from Charlotte, North Carolina writes, haha. The women are an 8.5 on the Navy ship. He liked that line. We in the Army call that Baghdad beautiful. That's good. And then you got Bukaki Joe from Fort Riley in Kansas. He writes, dude, imagine Iraq in the combat zone. The ratio of girls to guys is ridiculous, and any female who is normally a 2 rises to an instant 8, and you would lick her... And you would... whoa! You would lick her...
Oh, we can figure it out.
Well, he uses the word Sandy. Blank out of sheer desperation.
Yeah.
Phone number 877-212-0A. Sue Simmons. She's a legend here in New York. And I guess she's in trouble.
Is she in trouble, or are they leaving her alone? What do you
She'll be in
think?
trouble. We would be.
No, we would be in big trouble.
We would be fired. We would be fired, but radio guys, we're just a bunch of scums. As far as broadcasters go, radio guys are just scums of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you make a joke as you try to entertain your audience, you get fired.
Yeah, you slip. You slip and say a naughty word.
One slip and you're fired.
They're fining you hundreds of thousands and throwing you out the door.
I think I told you yesterday, I've been watching the George Carlin HBO specials because I got the box set. And the other day I'm watching, I'm thinking to myself, brilliant, obviously. He's one of the best ever. And I'm thinking to myself, if he did some of this material on a radio show, and and it's FCC friendly, he would get fired.
Yeah.
Why is it okay on HBO? Because it's under the guise that he's trying to entertain and be funny. If we did his material, first of all, people would call us ripoff artists, but we would get in so much trouble for the material he was doing.
Because of, like race and things like that, and politically incorrect.
Politically incorrect.
Well, you don't mean the profanity stuff either.
No, that's what I said. FCC friendly.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Like we could run some of this on the air. We wouldn't get fired because it's George Carlin. But if we did it, it's some outrageous stuff about religion and politics, and yes, politically correct stuff. I'm like, why is it that we would get fired for that? Because we would be doing the same thing, just trying to make people laugh as they go to work.
He can't be fired from being George Carlin. That's another thing. You comics.
Well, the rules
You're
of
fired. You can't beat Jim Norton anymore.
the rules of radio are just ridiculous. We have
Yeah.
some weird responsibility when all we're trying to do is make jokes, get a little edgy, entertain people, but it's just different. Like Sue Simmons, she said the F word last night. She's not going to get fired. Nothing's going to happen. It's just a good thing to talk about today, but she's not going anywhere.
That should be an FCC fine. Now, this wasn't done. Why should she all just scream it? If we all didn't went through, we'd be done.
Yeah.
It would be done.
You can't do an Asian joke on this station.
Nope.
You can drop an F-bomb and get away with it?
Not allowed to do an Asian joke, and Amy Poehler did a whole Asian thing on SNL. If we play that, they would dump out of it today.
Really?
The rules of radio are so stupid.
Yeah, I don't know
so
why.
stupid.
I don't know why we got these standards we're supposed to uphold.
Yeah.
Sue Simmons audio?
Yeah, we're going to get to that. But Anthony had a really good observation about the Sue Simmons thing.
Ugh.
A lot of outrage in the papers. It's on like page 2, page 3. Oh, my God, can you believe what Sue Simmons did? She cursed. And right on the front page of the Daily News, buried alive.
There's a woman that is underneath rubble in China from the earthquake trying to pull herself out.
Right.
As photographers snapping pictures of her.
How about the photographer puts down the camera?
Maybe put the camera down, help the young lady out.
Or maybe it's a little too heavy for one photographer.
Yeah.
Give the guy the benefit of the doubt, but he's thinking Pulitzer right here with this picture.
Of course. But between the newspaper and the news itself, the news is showing plenty of dead people. I've seen more dead people on the news lately with all these disasters happening around the world. But they showed the earthquake footage and showed some people underneath rubble, dead. And then there's big outrage over the F word. Now, what's more offensive? What is more damaging for a child to see? Do you honestly think it's more damaging for them to hear the F word or see dead people in horrific positions, bloodied, torn apart, bloated, drowned bodies?
The cyclone footage is really, really bad.
Horrid.
They're showing just a montage of dead people.
Bloated, drowned people is what they're showing. And you don't think a child watching that is going to be more affected than if they hear a word that you know they've heard around the house, at school, wherever. You know, they don't walk into school and go, boy, I had to avoid so many bloated, dead, drowned people today.
Yeah.
No. But you guaranteed every day you're hearing the F word. I know I did. Going to school every day you hear it. Come here, Anthony. I want to you. Right from my teacher. It was just...
That's why, in a lot of ways, this country's so effed up, man, because you can't show boobs. Who cares? It's a dumb boob.
We're such a nation of, just this prudish jackasses that we'd much rather have our children seeing dead people than hearing a curse or seeing a breast. For God's sake, that flash of the Janet Jackson thing years ago, how much of a tizzy did that start? Holy good God. And meanwhile, bad dead people, who cares?
Montage of dead people, not a quick flash like they did with the Janet Jackson thing.
Yeah.
Montage, dead people.
Uptightness over sex. We become kind of a joke around the world. It's like America for a long time was this real this front runner in free speech and free thought, and we have become like the running joke with how sexually uptight we are. It's like Europe laughs at us, and they should. They laugh at us.
And I think it leads to sexual problems later in life because, it's so taboo, this sex thing. In other countries, sex is not taboo.
Yeah, you're all wound up.
And they don't got as many freaks walking around.
Even the filthy French. They love nudity.
Sure they do. They work 8 hours a week. They have nothing else to do.
Exactly.
My work week is over. It's Monday. You lazy bum.
I think I will go to the beach in my Speedo.
Oh, awful. Bunch of bread-eating zilches.
Take your baguette and get.
Thank you. I
crashed
wanted
myself.
a pot of scalding water so badly.
Never wanted to be on a ship with you. Goodbye.
So here's the Sue Simmons. This was, I don't even think this was on live TV, was it? She was but it was, but she was recording a promo. She didn't know she was live, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was during a tease for an upcoming
so she was live.
segment, yeah.
Okay, I thought she was taping in the studio, but they just happen to still be live.
No, you know how during a show they'll pop on and go, later on tonight, blah, 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 blah.
See, stupid me. I thought they recorded those in advance.
Oh.
So they just pop in live.
I know. Wouldn't you think they record those?
Why wouldn't you? You have 2 hours to kill in between. Well, what?
I guess they want to keep very up to date. You know, what's the lead story? Because they're probably putting together what their big story is going to be right up until showtime.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, but I mean,
believe me. I take the whole news and go home.
Here's Sue Simmons dropping the F-bomb. This is just unbelievable today.
At 11, pay more at the grocer, but getting less. We'll tell you how to get the most. The are you doing?
Wow.
Yeah. I said, what the F are you doing?
She lost her mind, though, because if that was live, she's got to think that they need a second or two to you know.
It's what's his name that dropped the F-bomb there, Chien?
Oh, Arthur Chien.
Arthur Chien. Same thing. There's no delay there. There's no, breathe, take a breath, and then drop the F-bomb because what do they think? The mics go off the second you stop with your little promo?
Wait for the floor director guy to go, and we're out.
Yeah.
And then, of course, at 11 o'clock, she had to do that.
We need to acknowledge an unfortunate mistake.
I love how the voice has to get very serious. And,
yeah, what happened to the screaming, blurting out the F-bomb woman?
Where's the shrew?
Yeah.
C we heard earlier.
Yeah. It's still you. Don't try to cover it up.
Right.
Just go, all right, you heard me. I said it.
You got to get very serious, drop the tone a little bit.
And she almost sounds like she's apologizing for someone else.
Right.
Listen to it. It was you.
We need to acknowledge an unfortunate mistake.
We? How about
we?
How about you?
What's this we crap? I'm a cameraman.
Right. How about I need to?
We, the network, are all responsible for my filthy mouth.
A potty mouth.
We need to acknowledge an unfortunate mistake that I made, and one of the teases we bring to you before this program. While we were live, just after 10 o'clock, I said a word that many people find offensive. I'm truly sorry. It was a mistake on my part, and I sincerely apologize.
Can I tell you something?
We're done.
You shouldn't say many people. Not many people.
No one really. It's not many people find that word.
Not many people.
Offensive.
I said a word. We're like children.
Said a word. I said a word.
I said a word that was bad.
Right there. It tells you it's nothing. I said a word.
Or if she just said,
Look,
I use profanity I shouldn't have. Speak like an adult.
Yeah.
It's like they get into this child speak when they address a slip-up. I said a word that that's just like a 5-year-old boy's word.
It's naughty.
That's right. I said a word that was very offensive, kind of the way penis is to me. This word may be to you. It's just offensive and you don't want to hear it. Get it? Elbow to the ribs?
Yeah, we got it right. But they sit you down too, and they're like, "Okay, you gotta look and sound very serious with this apology."
Yes. All right, Sue, we're gonna have to take care of this now. Remember, put on the serious voice. You can't. If you make light of this, it's gonna make it worse.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Once again, though.
At 11, pay more at the grocer, but getting less. We'll tell you how to get the most. The are you doing?
I wonder who she was bitching at.
In my opinion.
Yeah,
she went a little ghetto there.
Yeah, she did.
She went a little ghetto.
She went back to her roots right there.
What the F are you doing?
The F are you doing?
Just a little bit.
Little bit.
But that was the big news tease. How to get more at the grocers?
Yeah.
Well, food prices are going up, Jimmy.
Maybe she caught
about that.
Maybe she caught a glimpse of a mirror and was just cursing at herself for doing that tease. What the F are you doing?
Yeah, that's what you went to school for?
Yeah. Ugh.
You want to be Dan Rather?
How long have I been doing this S? You think you're a badass? Do you think you're a badass?
S? Bad.
A badass?
Badass.
Mm-hmm.
No, I've been a badass.
I'm just asking around the room. Who thinks they're a badass?
I know I am.
You do, huh? Listen to this story. And listen.
I am when I'm armed. Give you that.
Pick out in this
horse's ass.
Pick out in this story.
Mm-hmm.
What got our attention?
Okay. It's a game.
A little bit of a game.
This is fun.
A little bit of a game. Here we go.
Right.
It's a quickie.
Rapper Remy Ma's jailhouse wedding is called off after her groom-to-be allegedly tried to sneak a handcuff key into Rikers Island for the ceremony. Correction officials say that the key could have easily opened the restraints that are used in the facility. The hip-hop star's fiancé, Papoose, who is also a rapper, has now been banned from the jail for the next 6 months. Remy Ma is set to be sentenced today on felony assault charges. She faces up to 25 years in prison.
What catches your attention in that story there, Jimmy? What jumps out at you?
His name.
The Papoose?
Papoose.
I like Papoose.
Or the fact that he's the whole thing. The fact that he's banned from a jail.
Thank you.
That is it.
If you think you're a badass, try getting banned from a jail for 6 months.
You're not allowed in our jail.
Badass.
You can't come to our jail.
That's pretty impressive.
Try to sneak in a key. Huh? Try to sneak in a key.
Yeah, you could get those handcuffs off pretty
easily. What was he doing? What was he going to do?
I don't know.
Big jailbreak?
I don't know. Maybe we should have done research on this. I don't know. Maybe I don't think jail. Maybe he wanted maybe he wanted some help getting the poison out, and
a little handy.
He needed to get her free to do that.
Lock those.
Wait, how long is she going to do in jail? She's facing. What did she do?
I don't know.
Shot her friend?
Shot someone. She's really going.
She shot a friend of hers after a night of drinking at a club.
All right.
Friends say.
What's the biggie?
You shot me. Go to jail.
The friend is after her.
Yeah, they've had the trial already. She said she stole money from her friend. They had an argument, and then there was a shooting.
Yeah, that ain't good.
No.
She's probably going to get 10 years.
Could be. I think she was convicted already. They're waiting for sentencing.
Yeah. But probably 10.
Could face 25 as the max.
There you go.
Wow.
But the guy's banned from jail. That's amazing.
I'm sorry you can't come. Why would he marry her?
Why does anyone marry people in jail? You can't bang them. What's the use of that?
Well, it might be a love thing.
They might have conjugal visits.
Yeah, some of these jails, you get to,
You're allowed.
Sure.
They hook you up in a trailer. It's like a little hotel room, and then you do your stuff. I don't know how long it is.
Sometimes. Some places, I think, it is a weekend.
You spend the weekend?
Sometimes, yeah, depending on the...
You know, our country is just ridiculous.
You got to take care of everybody, Aunt.
We are crazy. How are we allowing people conjugal visits in prison?
I think some of these places that aren't as, filled with violent criminals, they do it. Yeah, they get a weekend in a trailer.
She shot someone.
Well, that's Rikers. I'm talking about in general. She's not getting a weekend in a trailer. But other facilities, I believe I've read or seen that. It could be up to a weekend with your loved one.
God, that's sick.
It's also for the spouse too. It's not easy when you're married to someone and you can't have sex with them.
Those trailers must have stains on the ceiling. Jesus. How long has it been?
Malik from Asbury Park says 6 or 7 years she's getting.
Wow.
Malik, right? 6 or 7?
Yeah, what up? Yeah, I think she got like 6 or 7 years because it was a mistake. She tried to say it was a mistake, but what happened was, she popped her friend. I know I'm dry snitching, but she popped her friend for like $2,000, $3,000. And my man Pat tried to sneak the key on the island. He just got banned from the island altogether.
Why did he sneak the key? To try to get her out of there?
Nah, you know what I'm saying? No cognitive visits. So I guess he was trying to get a little
cognitive visits.
Oh, very nice.
Cognitive visits. I recognize you. Thank you. Your visit's over.
Very nice. Thank you, Malik. Hey, Malik, what does the community think of Suge Knight getting knocked out?
Yeah, I feel sorry for that dude. You're going to hear about a body coming up in the future week.
Malik knows. I guess the guy that knocked out Suge Knight, he owns a barbershop in the L.A. area. And how tall is Suge Knight? Like 6'5", 6'6", easily?
He's a big dude.
Yeah.
Well over 300 pounds. This guy was 5'10".
Oh.
I bet you he was like an amateur boxer or something.
And knocked him the F out. And TMZ, they're stupid.
Why?
Because they're kind of mocking the fact that Suge Knight got knocked out. You got to be dumb to be touching that.
Get yourself hung out over a balcony.
Yeah.
Like Vanilla Ice.
Oh, yeah.
What? You're going to say something bad about Suge?
No.
Is that what you were going to do, Jimmy?
No.
I'm like, no.
Bottom line is, anybody is knockoutable. I mean, I would love to see the guy who knocked him out.
They have a picture of him up on TMZ. He looks like a badass, man.
Can we see him? He's got what a reputation he's got.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
I don't know if it's
for the short time he's going to be alive.
You're going to kill the guy, but it's like everyone knows he knocked you out, and then you had to go and shoot him.
That guy right there. There he is up there. You can see it on TMZ. Suge's Most Wanted. That's the headline.
Oh, yeah.
And it'll never get back that Suge had anything to do with it.
Nope.
There'll be some weird accident that just happens.
He'll have an alibi.
No, it wouldn't even be a weird accident. They don't go with weird accidents. They make statements.
Accidentally got shot 30 times.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not like, wow, all of a sudden, like, his car went off a cliff.
And then no one says anything.
Oh, yeah, no, this is, you're right. It's handled differently.
I didn't see nothing.
Right.
That's what you'll hear.
Do we have time to do the NPR lady? So there's this huge 7.8 earthquake in China, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this NPR woman is on the air, live. And if you know anything about NPR, they are just a bore fest.
It's horrendous.
Yes. A lot of the cabbies here in New York, they love their NPR for some reason. It's just monotone. I think SNL did a pretty good skit on it where they just have that very soft delivery and talk about mundane stuff. Well, here's an NPR lady. She's interviewing somebody. That's not important. Then all of a sudden the earthquake happens. And listen how she handles it.
My position is to help my college or my pastors to pastor the church or to grow in the church, to plant a good church.
What's going on? The whole building is shaking. The whole building is shaking. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We're in the middle of an earthquake?
Earthquake,
The whole block is shaking. Pieces, the top of the church is falling down. The ground is shaking underneath our feet and all of the people are running out in the street. As we're standing here, birds are flying. The ground is undulating under my feet. The cross on the top of the church is waving wildly and bricks are falling off of the ceiling, falling off of the roof.
Now, let's make this perfectly...
What a hold-it-together kind of gal.
Yeah, let's make it perfectly clear. This isn't a tremor in San Francisco where they're used to this crap. This is a 7.8 earthquake.
7.8.
The top of a church is falling.
Oh, yeah, the
falling off.
ground is undulating under my feet. Yeah, wow, I believe we're in an earthquake.
I know NPR has their way of broadcasting, but, you know, how about a real moment?
A little excitement.
Holy mother of F.
Just something. A little excitement.
A giant bunch of rocks has fallen on me. I'm crushed.
I'm crushed. Things are going dark. I feel cold. I see the Grim Reaper.
She's just like the coolest. You know, that Hindenburg guy should take a lesson from this woman. Jesus, did he lose his mind?
She sounds just like one of the broads in that SNL skit.
Yeah,
with Alec
yeah.
Baldwin. Like,
yeah.
What were they cooking? Like sweaty balls or
Sweaty.
something? Sweaty?
Yeah, his name was Sweaty.
Sweaty. Sweaty balls?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, very.
Is that her? She looks like she talks like that.
Yeah,
She looks like the chick from Airplane, Julie Haggerty.
Oh, yeah. So.
Yeah.
Wow, she'll probably be rewarded for that. Miss Cool, keep it together, gal. What does it take, though, to get this? You got to start thinking, because all I was thinking was sexually, how do you satisfy her?
Yeah, that's good. Uh-huh.
Well?
I don't really feel the bed undulating under my butt.
Don't look for anything.
I was going to say, where else could he go with that?
Yeah. But you're right, though. It's a 7
She seems like a real prude.
Yeah. 7.8 on the Richter scale doesn't move this iceberg.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything with a little spanking. You have to pull her hair, like you have to tie her head to a horse and then hit it, watch the horse take off. Any kind of reaction out of her. It's jaded.
All right, we got to take a break here. I think we go to break with a sing-along. Club Soda Kenny surprised everyone, especially me, I guess, yesterday, because it was Burt Bacharach's 80th birthday. So Kenny decided to sing a song that actually was penned by Burt Bacharach and made famous by the Carpenters.
Yes.
And he surprised all of us. We had no idea he was going to do this yesterday. It was just an unbelievable moment on the Opie and Anthony show. So we go to break with this.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they look to be close to you. Why do stars fall down from the sky?
Second verse.
Every time you walk by, just like me, they long to be close to you. On the day that you were born, the angels got together and decided to create a dream come true. So they sprinkled moon dust in your hair and starlight in your eyes of blue. That is why all the girls in town follow you all around. Come on, everybody. Just like me. They long to be close to you.
The Opie and Anthony Show.
Hey, good morning. Opie and Anthony. We go right to the phones. John in Jersey. We kind of thought this after we did the bit, but John's on the same page as us this morning. What's going on, John? Hey, John.
John.
John, I want to give you a little credit. John, you there?
Yo, what's up, guys?
Hey, man, what's up?
Hey, I think you ought to, that chick from NPR ought to take a lesson out of Susan Waldman's book.
Yeah.
Exactly. Susan Waldman had the over-the-top reaction to Roger Clemens coming back to pitch for the Yankees last year.
Which, compared to an earthquake, 7.8 earthquake.
And the 7.8 earthquake where buildings are falling down around you. And, I think they should have switched roles there.
Yeah.
They should have.
Yeah.
There's Roger Clemens. He's in George's box. He's a Yankee. He's now a Yankee. Posada in the dugout. As I look in the dugout, I see smiling faces. Yeah.
And then you got Susan Waldman in China.
Goodness gracious! Of all the dramatic things I've ever seen.
Oh, goodness gracious!
A 7.8 earthquake!
The church is coming apart at the seams!
Sam from Quincy is smiling because he knew. Buildings are falling down around me, and the birds continue to fly.
NPR lady goes, and the birds are flying.
Birds are flying. What do
Birds
you want
are still
them to do?
flying.
Land?
Well, yeah, of course.
They can fly. They don't have the earthquakes. Don't bother them.
Yeah, that's
the birds are looting. That's worth reporting.
Yeah, that's the safest place for birds to be in the air.
Goodness gracious! People are being trapped under rubble. Oh, this is the most dramatic thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we missed the obvious on that one. We're trying to figure out what the JetBlue thing is all about. You got a guy, he's suing JetBlue for $2 million, I believe. Yes. Is that the total?
Look at this picture. Doesn't he look like Roland?
And
Hey, it really does.
Yeah, wow.
Hey, he wants to stop by. Is a good guy from JetBlue and the box set.
Yeah. We'll put this the picture of the guy on onaradio.com later today. Great website that does all sorts of good things for our show. Anyway, this guy, I don't know his name. He's on JetBlue, and I guess he had a buddy pass.
His name is, it's a really easy, it's going to flow right off the tongue.
Uh-oh.
Gokhan Mutlu. Gokhanmutlu.
What is that?
Horrendous.
Okay.
And,
that was a real vaudeville moment.
What
was that? Not good.
Now we go into singing Friendship.
Yeah.
With a cane and top hats.
This guy, I don't know. I was outraged at first, but then I wasn't outraged. Who gives a crap? But then we learned that he had a buddy pass. What's a buddy pass?
Let's say somebody you know works for the airline. And they will have some type of sodomy with you.
It's a pass with a hole drilled in it.
Oh, God. A buddy pass. It does sound so, ugh. Yeah. If as somebody works for the airline, they could get passes for people they know and friends and relatives and stuff and give it to them. And they fly for nothing. So you give them this buddy pass, you're able to get on the plane.
And he was going, what, San Diego to New York nonstop?
It was a red-eye flight.
Red-eye? And he was sitting in his seat, 90 minutes into the flight. He's out cold, sleeping, and what, the stewardess
says, excuse me,
yep,
you're going to have to move. See, apparently one of the flight attendants didn't like the jump seat. The jump seat is one of those fold-down seats.
Yeah.
They don't like one of the flight attendant didn't like it. It's uncomfortable. It was a full flight. So she wanted the guy's seat that had the buddy pass. So you'd think the guy with the buddy pass could just get up and take the jump seat. He's got a buddy pass, suck it up, whatever. I don't know. I think it's pretty inappropriate anyway. The flight attendant, you're at work. Sit in the seat you're supposed to sit in.
And it makes you want to scream.
Yeah. It's like sit in the seat you're supposed to sit in.
What do they do on JetBlue? Do they serve meals even?
No.
I don't know.
I don't think so. It's just like drinks.
Yeah, snacks.
Stupid broad.
Snacks. They give you the blue potato chips. They hand out the bags of blue potato chips.
Oh, I'm kind of a fan of JetBlue for the
like
short
JetBlue.
flights.
Never put me on the toilet.
For 3 hours.
Well, no, but
Never shoved me on a toilet. No, I'm fine.
yeah, they do encourage you to bring your own snacks and meals on the
No
flight.
first class though, Jimmy.
No first
Why would,
class.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah. So,
Exactly.
so the
Fancy
guy, so they forced the guy to sit on the toilet.
Yeah, so they said, look,
for the remainder of the flight.
they said, look, you sit on the toilet because you can't sit in the jump seat because only employees can sit in the jump seat. So you sit on the toilet. And
Something's wrong.
They made him sit on the toilet.
Something doesn't make sense.
The captain came out, he said.
Yeah.
I told him to go hang out in the bathroom. You're lucky I got you on this flight.
Yeah, he goes, it's my plane. I'm in charge of this. You have to listen to me.
I don't get it. Something is wrong. No one gets you on a flight and then wakes you up and goes, look, she wants to sit here. Go hang out in the can.
Yeah, was she sick or something?
It doesn't matter. I don't know.
Maybe she had morning sickness. Maybe she. I don't know.
But they should.
We don't have all the details here. And what about people that need to use the toilet?
Yeah. He's got to get out so they can go, and then he goes back in after, like, Jimmy's been in there after some yogurt. And
God. Oh, my
How about no seatbelt? No seatbelt.
Yeah, there's no seatbelt on the turlet.
Something's
Oh,
right.
just hit some heavy turbulence, and you come out, just looking like you got hit with a malted.
Oh, you know what? I bet you that they didn't land with him in the bathroom. I bet you they said for a while during the flight. And I bet you he got to sit back in his seat when he landed. It was probably just during the flight. They tell you that you have to stand or hang out in the galley. But again, what if there's turbulence? Then then they probably would have said sit during turbulence.
Yeah. That's just an odd. How lonely. How lonely in that little bathroom. That would be terrible.
It's really irritating that they would do that. The arrogance of that employee.
I'm thinking the guy
Doesn't
smelled.
make sense. You think
Maybe he
you
smelled.
think he was just farting
I think
a lot?
there was something going on where maybe he was not a likable man, maybe.
On his face, he does belong on a toilet. When you look at his last name is Mutlu. Just 2 U's in your last name, you belong on a can. That's my opinion.
We're gonna keep on this story because there's something else going on here that will probably come out in the lawsuit, right?
Pat from Kentucky. He was in stinky class. That's a typical Pat. Thank you.
A couple quickies. iPhones are completely sold out online. New version imminent.
Yep.
So you can't even get the iPhone online anymore?
New one's in June, I heard, right?
And what's going to be on the new one?
Oh, man, it's going to have... I have no idea.
What's going to be different?
But it better be better. I think they're going to go with the 3G.
The web browser, they probably... they couldn't have done this before? Or was this the first time they could have?
Of course they could have. They could have done this back in the 70s. I don't know. But I'm sure they had this technology. Come on.
Yeah, but they
want everyone... Every company doesn't want to sell something that people don't have to replace. Because then you're done.
Right.
Everyone gets it, and then you sit back and go, okay, close the doors. We're out of business.
The version that's coming out, I would assume, could have been the original one that came out.
Right.
But that doesn't do anyone any good. You put this unbelievable technology out there, and you hold back some of the advances.
Yeah.
Let this sell nicely, and then you kick them with the new one. That's what our country's all about. That's what selling products is all about in this country.
I wonder if you can MMS pictures now. Like you take a picture with the iPhone, you can't send it.
I hate the fact that I cannot send a text picture.
And AT&T is so bad. When you get an iPhone, if I send Anthony a picture, which I have.
Oh yeah.
Thank
you, by the way. It's huge.
I told you. Well, it was a smaller hand wrapped around it.
I
like turtles.
And you get a thing. It says multimedia message. So you have to go online and go to viewmymessage.com.
That's unbelievable.
And then you open it, and it's a little bigger than a postage stamp.
Yeah.
And that's the actual.
You can't click on it. You can't click on it, make it bigger.
Right?
You don't save it. You don't do anything. You're able to look at it for a second.
That doesn't make
sense.
sense.
Save it.
Can you?
Sure you can.
To what? An actual
desktop.
postage stamp?
Well, it stinks because...
You really can?
Of course you can. You hit on a Mac. I'll go a little inside the old Macaroo here, but there's a couple of buttons you hit, and you can capture whatever's right there. So
I know. I could screen cap things,
there we are.
and save it that way. But there's no it's just a screen with a stupid postage stamp size picture in the middle.
Enraging. And Verizon at least had an account. Like you'd open up your account and all your old pictures would be there.
Oh yeah.
But no, AT&T doesn't do that. They're terrible.
Well, I would assume the new iPhone will update some of that crap, right?
I don't know if this one will. This one, I think the big thing is just the fact that the browser speed's going to be faster.
Internet that doesn't suck.
Yeah.
What are they going
to have?
Huh?
Oh, it's going to be a little thinner?
Better battery, and some of the new applications they open up will be trickling out over the summer.
Trickling.
So it's basically nothing. The iPhone no one's ever picked up an iPhone and went, my God, that's too thick.
There you go. That's not the problem they should be addressing.
Yeah, I don't want to be able to. I don't want to have it blow. Like if it's windy, have it bend back. how thin do we need a phone? We act like we're all like little teeny spider monkeys with small hands. I weigh 165. God almighty, what a bunch of babies we are.
That is so true, God damn it.
It's very small, the phone. It's very easy to manage. I don't need it thinner. Let me MMS pictures and put video on here and web access that doesn't suck.
I want video, and I want a better camera, too. The thing, you can't hold it steady. The way you have to hit the button to take a picture leaves the phone dangling precariously out of your hand. You can't really get a good steady picture with it.
And there's no flash.
No flash, no video. You can't text them the pictures. I don't know what the hell it is. Why am I going to get another one?
Because we're dummies and we will.
I know. I'm an idiot.
So am I.
With technology too, where as soon as you get something, we can't have it for too long before. Like, all right, what's next?
I need a new one. Something new.
We need something new.
And thinner. What did they discover in the last year that will make this little thin phone thinner? What did they remove? The giant chip in there is now a thin chip, which we didn't have a year ago. This is all brand new stuff. Happened in December.
Yeah.
They've had everything.
Of course they did. They got 4 or 5. I bet you they have 4 or 5 different versions of this that they just slowly will put out in the next 2
Did you
years.
put the old fat battery in all those phones last year?
We weren't supposed to do that.
Bob!
Steve Jobs' phone right now is folded up in his wallet next to his MasterCard, the one he's using.
Yeah.
So thin you can swallow it and make calls from your stomach. I don't need a phone that thin. I really don't. I'm not going to roll it up and smoke pot out of it.
Something else going on today. This is very interesting. Old gas pumps can't register more than $3.99 a gallon on their dials.
Wow, they never thought it was going to go up that high, huh?
Creating problems for some stations. Yeah, those problems will be for about 2 days. They'll figure out how to get that freaking dial working properly.
When gasoline went to $1 a gallon, they had problems with gas pumps because they would just do cents.
Sure.
It wasn't a dollar thing.
Sure.
On the old ancient gas pumps.
But they
like you said, they figured it out real quick.
By the time we read that story, they figured it out. Are you kidding
Problem
me?
solved. God.
If it means more money for somebody, they're going to figure it out immediately. And then you got this story.
This is not a story you hear about all the time. A Florida man is planning to sue after he was kicked off the beach for wearing a Speedo. Bob Heselwood, better known as Beach Bob, says he has been sitting just south of Bonita Beach for years. No one ever bothered him or complained. But recently, a Lee County deputy gave Bob a ticket for trespassing, saying his bathing suit crossed the line. A judge tossed out the case, and now Heselwood is suing the Lee County Sheriff's Office.
What a creep.
What's his name? Beach Bob?
Beach Bob.
Beach Bob stinks. Speedo. I don't really understand the Speedo thing.
I think
I don't really care.
Oh, I'd wear one if I was a little skinnier.
You'd wear a Speedo?
In a second.
Why?
Why? Look what I got, girls. Exactly why.
Like that probably got all. He got all excited, I think.
Oh,
I
really?
think the cop probably got a little excited. Wrote him a ticket. That usually, oh, look at him. What a sexy guy. Oh, Jesus. Is he skin cancer waiting to happen?
Yeah, Beach Bob is really tan.
Beach Bob's an ass.
You think Beach Bob, I don't know, likes the sun?
How could he not? I think Beach Bob lives to showcase his genitals. Beach Bob is attempting to make saran wrap Speedo.
He's coming out with the newer version of the Speedo to show off
Yes.
more of what he's packing.
Thinner.
Look, even
It's thinner
Yes.
and smaller.
That'll be Steve Jobs' next thing. It'll be so thin Beach Bob can wear the new iPhone.
Yeah.
Covers his helmet.
I don't know if this is going to work, but Susan Waldman covering the 7.8 earthquake in China.
Oh.
What, Travis? Don't yell at Opie.
What I just gave you?
Yeah. Oh, what is it? Something different?
Yeah, this is actually her covering the 1989 earthquake in San Francisco.
Really?
She was at the World Series with the Giants. And the
Oh, she really
Athletics.
was?
Yeah. So this is actually what she would sound like if she was covering an earthquake.
Oh.
Let's hear it.
All right.
I just pulled it.
This is Gary Cohen in the WFAN
Doesn't
studios.
sound like
There's
her.
been a major earthquake in San Francisco. Let's go out to Susan Waldman at Candlestick Park. Susan, what's the situation?
I'll tell you, this is as scared as I've ever been in my life. This is an earthquake here.
It's good. It's good. Reacting ass. It wasn't that scary, especially because at the World Series it wasn't that scary.
Mm-hmm.
If you were under that pancake, it was scary.
Well, yeah.
This is as scared as I've ever been in my life. This is an earthquake here, a 6.8 on the Richter scale. This upper deck was absolutely shaking. The light stanchions were blowing back and forth. Phones have gone off. All the power is out in the city of San Francisco and in the city of Oakland. Everyone is standing around here. People in the upper deck absolutely terrified to move, not knowing what to do.
Oh, I thought she was describing more of Roger Clemens.
Roger Clemens!
For the Yankees.
How funny is it that there is actual audio of her during an earthquake? Or reporting about an earthquake?
Yeah.
But at least she acts like you should act during an earthquake.
Yeah.
Your heart is moving.
Yeah.
Not the birds are continuing to fly, and the
here.
church steeple. Wow, it just missed me as it fell
Coming
to the ground.
apart.
Out of the cadaver.
Not knowing what to do. There's supposed to be an aftershock. Everybody from the New York media wants me to say to everybody, we're all right so far. This is a very scary situation. Everyone's just sitting here to wait and see what happens.
Everyone's just
6.8.
sitting here.
Yeah, well,
It's very exciting. Everyone's just sitting here. Boy, is she adult.
What should everyone
We're
be
waiting for
doing?
George Steinbrenner to tell us what to do. My gosh!
Sitting here to wait and see what happens. 6.8, they tell me, is a bad one, and I'll tell you, the guy from San Francisco was nodding his head. Oh yeah, and right now
That's not why he was nodding his head. It was not, there was a lap involved.
And right now, there definitely cannot be a game at this moment. There is no power here at all. People are just glued to their seats, not knowing where to go, because 50,000 people are not going to get out of this place all at once.
Really? So they're not going to be playing the baseball game?
They're not getting out all at once.
Really?
Glued to their seats.
Is that what's going to happen?
She's something. She certainly does have excitement.
I bet
Give her
you
that.
I bet you they didn't. I don't remember because that's a while ago now, but I bet you they didn't allow you to run onto the field where that would be the safest place. They'd probably force you to sit in the bleachers.
Stay under the overhangs, please, people. Stay under the cement and steel beams.
You know how these ball teams are with their ballparks,
Yeah.
pompous asses.
Don't go on the grass where there's nothing above you that could fall on you and kill you.
Right.
What? Getting out of here.
You know damn well they forced everyone to just sit in their seats as there's cracks all around them.
Yeah, things start cracking. You're just feeling crumbs of concrete falling on your head.
Yeah. The beauty of the Opie and Anthony show, it's always a work in progress.
I would hope so.
And there's 17...
Right. I've just stopped.
Well, there's 17 days before the Sex and the City movie premieres for everybody.
Right.
And we know there's a bit there somewhere. We started the show by railing on the broads that are in Sex and the City. So Tim down the hall, he got Steve, the other Steve, Wood Yee Steve from the old days.
Of course.
To do the prologue for Sex and the City. So we're kind of working out our Sex and the City bits live in front of you all today.
Love the Sex and the City.
This is our first attempt. So you got Steve doing Sarah Jessica Parker's part.
Uh-huh.
This is how every Sex and the City started off.
Did it?
Yes.
I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't either. Well.
Welcome to the age of uninnocence. No one has breakfast at Tiffany's, and no one has fairs to remember. Instead, we have breakfast at 7 a.m. in affairs we try to forget as quickly as possible. How the hell did we get into this mess? There are thousands, maybe 10,000s of women like this in the city. We all know them. and we all agree they're great. They travel, they pay taxes, they spend $400 on a pair of Manolo Blahniks snappy sandals, and they're alone. It's like the riddle of the Sphinx. Why are there so many great unmarried women and no great unmarried men? I explore these sorts of issues in my column, and I have terrific sources, my friends.
Just like the show, I guess.
Just like it.
Exactly. Probably twice as sexy.
We're gonna like hone it, obviously, but I think we're working on getting some real Sex and the City scripts from the HBO show, and we're gonna have Steve Woodye, Club Soda Kenny, Roland, and somebody else as the girls playing.
Big A.
And maybe
I want him to be Samantha, because I don't know anything about the show, but I know she's the sassy, sexy one.
All right, you know the players.
Oh, boy.
Who should be the sassy, sexy one?
Big A.
Really? What about Club Soda Kenny?
Oh, that would be cute, too, wouldn't it? Ugh. No, Club Soda Kenny should be
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both got that head.
Roland should be the...
big head.
Should be the one that is now a lesbian.
Roland, you think, should be that one?
Big A. Kristen Bell, is the, quote, the cute one on the show, so I'm thinking Big A.
Big A?
Is Kristen Bell, yeah.
Davis.
Oh, Kristen Davis.
And then
Kristen Bell is
yeah,
our
whatever.
other friend, yeah.
And then what is, who's going to be a Samantha?
Well, we need a real hoa.
Yeah, because she's the hot one.
I guess it would have to be Steve. Actually, him delivering those lines would be pretty funny.
Steve C, right?
No, would you?
I think Steve C would
it
be
could be
good.
Steve C.
Yeah.
Steve C.
But the problem with Steve C is he overacts everything. These guys are natural.
He can't naturally deliver a line.
He can't
Steve.
be part of our Sex and the City bit.
I'm acting.
He can't be part of
Yes.
it. He can audition and we'll decide. But.
I know I'm supposed to sound like this.
Right, exactly.
That's what he does. Steve does a bad imitation of everyone's imitation of Steve.
And he thinks
because what I'm trying to say is,
he's doing that because he thinks that'll diffuse the situation.
No, it doesn't.
Dumbbell.
And it doesn't. You're right. All right, we got our promo for our cuddle party before we go to break.
It's the first annual Opie and Anthony Cuddle Party. Lace teddies, leather, boy shorts, alcohol, hot, scantily clad legal teen girls, where no means yes, and touching is allowed. Followed by long, scalding showers and tears of shame. It's the first annual Opie and Anthony Cuddle Party. Stay tuned for more details.
You're checking out the Opie and Anthony Show. Hey, let's not forget about the O&A Animation Festival. June 5th, Roseland Ballroom here in New York City. It's a sold-out event. This is very exciting. We got a lot of animators out there animating old bits from the fine radio show, and newer bits, actually, as well. You can pretty much animate anything. We just want you to keep it on the short side. No more than, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes tops?
Yeah.
We're going to feature the top animations on June 5th at the Roseland Ballroom, submitted by the fans. We got cash prizes, $10,000 so far for first, second, and third place. I believe it's going to be $5,000 for first, $3,000 for second, $2,000 for third place. Also working on 2 live comedians to break up the animations. Details, examples, and audio clips are on onaradio.com. And for all the animators out there, you got to start wrapping up and getting these things completed, and you must send them in through the snail mail.
Snail mail.
We don't want you to email the animations in because we want a nice high-res copy.
Crispy.
Send a DVD.
Opie and Anthony Animation Contest, 111 West 57th Street, Suite 500, New York, New York, 10019. I believe that address is on onaradio.com as well. But time is running out. We really need you guys to start handing in your animations, okay? So we could start looking at these in advance and figure out how we're going to, put the whole show together, okay?
Yes.
All right. And also we're going to have more info on the O&A Traveling Virus Comedy Tour. Is it going to turn into a tour, or is it going to be one and done?
A one-off or a tour? Who knows?
I think we're doing a couple of dates only.
We're going to do. We weren't going to do any. We were going to take the summer off, but the PNC Arts Center down there in Homedale, New Jersey, basically said, no, you guys can take the summer off. You're good business for us. So those tickets went on sale already. Still tweaking the lineup. I think what we're going to do, and we should have had this online by now, we want the listeners to vote on who they want to see this year on the comedy tour.
Oh.
That's the angle we were taking this
Leave it
year.
in their hands, huh?
Well, I mean, it's going to be a lot of the guys, a lot of the regulars that you definitely want to see, but then maybe there's some other comedians out there.
I bet Jimmy Norton's on that list.
I don't know if I'm going to be on the list. I'll be on the show, but I don't want to see it if they don't want me.
No,
I'm not
are you
taking that
kidding?
chance.
You'd be like the number one guy.
No, not necessarily, man.
Oh,
No, they've
absolutely.
seen me a couple times.
Hey, when are we
No.
going online with that? And what's
We
the
love
holdup?
Jimmy.
We came up with this great idea last week. It should be already done and ready to go. It should be on all the websites. Club Soda Kenny, you got info on this?
Yes.
What do you got, buddy?
The list was sent to the powers to be yesterday for approval before it can be posted on the website.
What approval?
Well, it has to be approved. I mean, we have to say yes to it.
Yeah, there's a chain of command here.
That
I wish you were
slows down
wrapped in it
everything.
and thrown in a river.
Yeah. We want to take you on a cruise ship.
So you're saying that the email was sent out but not responded to?
I have no knowledge of that. I was sent the email
testifying
yesterday.
every time you ask him a question, he's testifying.
It's awful. Stop sending me so many emails. How about you put a couple of thoughts into one? I'll send him something on 2 different points, and I'll get back 2 different emails. Okay, and then the next one on it. What's wrong with you?
Hey, he's got his BlackBerry. He's loving his BlackBerry.
He's got a BlackBerry now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Technology in his hands.
Yeah.
Where's the super duper executive producer, Steve? Steve, when is this going online?
As soon as I get that list of the comics to put on the voting page.
But it went out last?
Not to me, it didn't.
Fine, whatever. You guys do whatever you want.
Well, we have to make these decisions. Let's pick the comedians and see who we
just.
Yeah. Because if they do it, here's what happens: if they do it, and they don't clear it first, they'll get yelled at for that. Why don't you clear it? Oh, wow, okay. And then they said it to clear it. You're like, what are you doing clearing it? They can't win.
No one could win around here.
I know.
But no one's on the same page.
Steve.
It's all like we're like an ant colony, and somebody kicked the freaking anthill. We're all just like scattering, trying to get stuff done.
Go ahead, Kenny. Go. Your turn.
Certain people can delegate their authority and give the responsibility to somebody else.
Oh. And who's that certain person?
Well, this way, these certain people can just focus on being handsome and talented.
Let's say hi to Scorch. We'll figure it out, but take a look at all the Opie and Anthony websites, especially onaradio.com. Hopefully we'll have a list of comedians. You get to vote who you want to see this summer on the ONA Traveling Virus Comedy Tour. But tickets are on sale for the PNC show. When is that? I got to make sure I don't take vacation on that day.
Yeah, that'd be kind of tough to explain. I think it's in July.
I'm thinking August.
Why are you screaming at me?
I'm not.
You're probably right.
August, right?
August 2nd. Okay, August 2nd
my
at the
fault.
PNC Arts Center. Tickets through Ticketmaster.com.
My apologies, ladies
There you
and
go.
germs.
Our buddy Scorch, he's up there. And where are you, Scorch? New Hampshire?
I am in lovely Manchester, New Hampshire, yes.
Manchester. All right. And has the day come where you're in that dog cage?
Yeah, I came in here yesterday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I haven't left yet. I won't leave, obviously, like I said to you last week, until I get at least $10,000 for the animal rescue.
So you're calling us from a dog cage?
Yeah, and my cage, I'll tell you what, my cage is probably 2 feet smaller than I thought it was going to be, which is very interesting. Of course, the heaters that they gave me to like warm stuff up didn't work because they blew the fuse. So it's working though. You know what? We're doing
Scorch.
okay day one.
But if you're going to be doing a hack radio bid, you can't have the comfort.
Hack.
You can't have the comforts of home. You can't have like warm air being blown on you and stuff.
Before you go any further, who says I have heat in my house?
Whoa. These living conditions are better than what I usually have.
That's why I'm glad to stay here as long as it takes.
Are you eating out of a doggy bowl? At least say you're doing that.
I do have pictures of all that. Yes, I was eating out of a doggy bowl, and I will continue to eat out of a doggy bowl.
What, Scorch, what position are you in? Like, how are you in this cage?
The only way I can be really is in either in a bad fetal position or almost like an L shape. Like I have my back up against the cage, my feet. I'm obviously sticking out the end of the cage because I'm just such a tall guy. So,
Wait, the cage door isn't shut?
The cage door is shut. Yes.
Then how are you?
But how are your feet sticking out?
Because if you,
but like I said, if I wasn't curled up into a fetal position, my feet would have to stick up.
Oh, I got you.
But rock101fm.com is the website. If anybody wants to donate anything for the cause, I mean, it's not going to benefit the New York animal shelters. But
hey, Scorch, the support must be unbelievable, huh?
What's that?
Is the support unbelievable?
Honest God, yesterday was a great day. We had the first lady that called up, pledged $1,000, which was nice. And from there on, my goal was $10,000. I bet you I'm going to make that by today. I'm hoping.
By today?
Yeah, I mean, I only started late last night, so late yesterday afternoon. So, and then I'm hoping I'll stay in there through Friday. And my ultimate goal is I want to raise, like I told you last week, I want to raise like 40.
And you're not getting out for those breaks, are you?
Nope, not at all.
Oh,
we talked you out of that.
He's
Good,
sticking to it.
Very nice.
Someone's suggesting he gets neutered or euthanized.
I have a big sign on the front of my cage that says O&A recommend you pee on me. Okay, so
that won't really go through.
I want people to throw crap on it. Let people throw paint on it. Let people. No, it's okay. It's all good. But I appreciate the.
Well,
guys give me support.
Scorch, we're gonna have one of our listeners come by with some yellow paint, and it just means they love you. So don't mind what happens. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
What can we give the first listener that throws paint on Scorch as he's in that cold?
Something from the prize closet.
Yeah, we got a great. Do we have anything in the prize closet these days? Why would we? Oh, here's the prize closet. Is this really the prize closet? That sure is. Before I tell you what's in the O&A prize closet, I do want to remind people that we are broadcasting from New York City, the number one radio market in the entire world, and we're syndicated to many, many cities, and we're also heard thanks to XM in all of Canada and the rest of the United States. XM fills in all the areas that we don't have a regular radio station. With that said, this is what's in the O&A prize closet. We got 3 Canon PowerShot digital cameras.
That's pretty good.
We got 2 Panasonic digital video cameras.
Wow.
Pretty good, too.
That's pretty good.
And we got four $100 gift certificates in the O&A prize closet.
All right.
Those are...
What?
Those are to the Sports Authority.
Sports Authority?
Okay.
So in the O&A prize closet, we have 9 things.
9 things.
They're pretty good, though, a couple of them.
Boy, we haven't given away anything.
9 things. 4 of them are gift certificates for $100.
I didn't even know we had that.
Me neither.
We should give something away.
Yeah, what do you want to give away?
I would say camera.
How many megapixels?
All right.
Megapixels.
All right. Scorch, where are you located?
Right in front of the Verizon Wireless Arena on Elm Street in lovely Manchester. And before I go any further, if I can, I heard you mention Canada. I got an email from an O&A fan named Trevor who listened to the show.
I knew.
All right, listen.
I so knew he wasn't going to get that out.
First listener that throws some paint on Scorch, it's got to be yellow paint, will win either a Canon PowerShot digital camera or a Panasonic digital video camera.
Wow.
And go.
All right.
And Scorch will...
probably be angry.
He'll be angry, but he will...
But he's in a cage, so he can't get you.
He will let us know that it actually went down.
What determines which one of those prizes they get? Who would pick a camera over a video camera?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Maybe someone that already has a nice video camera.
Oh, that's true. Bob Kelly got a new video camera yesterday. He's such a devoid of anything non-electronic. He really is an idiot.
What did he do?
He's just trying to tell me, dude, he's just trying to tell me that his camera. I don't care.
Great HD, dude.
You would have filmed yourself in the pool and sell it to Discovery. Don't be schlub. And the aquatic adopted Zero. Bob was adopted.
You had to rub that in.
Of course I did. Dude, why do you gotta say that, dude? Dude. Convinced that he's Irish, too.
Yeah.
Huh? He's not Irish.
No.
No?
I think there's... why? Because his adopted family was or something?
Yeah, he's very naive.
Oh, stop then. He's got to have some Italian and some Hispanic in him, I think.
Something else in there, too.
Something greasy.
Yeah, there's something at least a 6-hour flight from here. I don't know where.
Yeah.
It's at least a 6-hour flight.
Hey, let's check out the FU line today.
Thanks for calling the Opie and Anthony FU line. Here's the latest batch of FUs.
You have 6 new voice messages. First voice message.
Yeah, I'd like to send out a big FU to all the low-income deadbeats living in my properties. Get jobs, you rotten.
Next message.
I want to send out a big to my husband, David, because every time we don't want to have sex, he makes me.
Next message.
Hey, I'd like to give a big you to my ex-girlfriend. You string me along for a year and then you tell me you just want to break up. Die, you.
Next message.
I'd like to give an FU to Jocelyn, who sent me nasty emails, accused my husband of stupid. You'll get yours because karma is good, baby. FU.
Next message.
I would like to say you to Tom, my son's father, who decided he's not an alcoholic, even after he went to rehab and his pants on a regular basis.
Next message.
This is Josh from Pittsburgh. I want to send a big you out to Lisa from Long Island, who didn't think the dead horse jokes were funny. You.
End of new messages.
Call the Opie and Anthony FU line. 866-FU line 1. That's 866-FU line 1.
Thank you and goodbye.
Still lots to do on the Opie and Anthony show. We got Gary Coleman in divorce court.
Yes.
This made us laugh pretty hard. We got that piece of ass Kim Kardashian.
The dope.
And her sisters, they did a PSA.
What does she do? I hear her name. I have no idea what she looks like.
What she, yeah,
what is she?
Why is she famous?
Keeping Up with the Kardashians. What is it?
Yeah, it's another
Danny
reality
knows.
show that's trying to be the next, Osbournes.
Well, from what I remember reading on like some of the celebrity blogs and all that stuff, was that she was a friend of Paris Hilton's, and she wanted to be famous desperately. So she realized that Paris got really huge after she put out that sex tape. So she kind of put out her own sex tape with that rapper Ray J, and it kind of worked because now she's
somebody.
Just revolting.
It's just weird because her father died of cancer, and then what? His wife turned around and married Bruce Jenner, the Olympic hero.
Who was her father? Anybody?
Kim Kardashian's?
Yeah.
Kardashian.
Robert Kardashian?
Yeah, from the OJ trial. Yeah.
Okay, that's all I needed
is that
to know.
her father?
All right, as long as I know now. Now I know why she's famous. Okay.
Yeah.
He died of, what was it? Esophagus cancer or something? Something horrific.
Died of God saying, look what you did. Look who you defended.
He went like that, too, man.
Yeah.
Diagnosed dead less than a year later. And then, so his wife ends up marrying Bruce Jenner, I think.
Yeah.
Is that how this goes? Or were they divorced already? I don't know. Bruce Jenner looks like an old lesbian. He's one of those guys that is turning into an old lesbian the older he gets.
He's had a lot of work done.
And then he's got these stepdaughters, these Kardashian girls, like walking around the house just looking ridiculously hot.
Yeah.
It's worth watching just for that alone. I mean, it's all scripted crap. It's not real reality. The Osbournes did like a real reality show.
They never did a take two, Sharon said. It was just, that was what they did in their lives.
That's why that show was perfect. You know, they just filmed them being themselves. And as they try to get the next Osbourne hit, they realize these people don't have what the Osbournes had. So they're giving them things to do and stuff.
Because Ozzy was a rock star on tour with kids. I mean, and he's a very interesting guy. It was just an interesting life. But these other people, it's like, you're not that interesting.
Yeah.
Except for Hulk Hogan, is getting a divorce, his kids killing people. How do you not love the Hogans? Want to bang his daughter?
His kids killing people.
Driving up and down like a lunatic, banging into the poles.
Her ass kind of looks big.
Not according to Danny. Danny thinks it's luscious.
Big and delicious. What was
Danny, you like that, right?
It is fantastically delicious.
Let me see it.
Let's pop up a picture of Kim Kardashian's buttocks.
If Iraq doesn't open a picture of that.
I know, Iraq, you're about to get just laid out.
That's her sister.
Where's her
That's
ass?
the sister?
That's her?
Oh, that's her?
It looks like her
get
sister.
one from the other angle.
Yeah, yes, on her ass at the front.
The hips are a little J-Lo-ish.
Well, that's how you could always. That's how you could tell when a girl has a nice one, because you could see the hips from the front.
Yeah, I like that.
I like the full bosoms.
Yeah,
I love the full bosoms. They look like they're like balloons filled with sand.
I'm more
Not much movement there.
more of a behind man.
Yeah, me too.
I like the behinds.
Love a nice juicy one.
Hold on a second. I'm sorry to do this in the middle of our fantastic Kardashian.
I'm a shoulder blade guy.
Attention, radio hack alert, radio hack alert, radio hack alert.
Huh? Yeah, we got a radio hack alert. It happens. Puddle of AIDS from Jersey writes, holy S balls. KTU, which is a station here in New York City, they're doing a bit right now. People name TV shows. So you call up and you name a TV show. And then the host or the person on the line has to add, in my pants. So an example of this would be a half, what? Oh, 2.5 men.
In my pants. All right, I get it now. Oh, wow. That's pretty good.
Are they beating us in the ratings?
Probably.
Are they beating us in the ratings with crap like that? Great. What the hell's wrong with us?
Now everyone starts playing.
Well, of course. We got to play it now. We got to see how much fun it could be. So, TV show. So,
Three's
Lost.
Company.
In my pants.
In my pants.
Lost.
In my pants. Holy Jesus. This gets not fun immediately.
I disagree. I find the fun is mounting.
Well, we need a list of freaking TV shows.
Oh, what? You need a list?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Mash in my pants.
Right.
Mash in my pants. Nice. There you go.
I was frightened.
All in the family. Wow, look at that ass. Screw the dumb hack fit. Oh my God. All right. I'm Danny. I'm on board.
I like the
that.
fact
She looks
that it
like
goes
she's.
way
I'm on
above the
board.
underpants.
She looks like she's squatting though.
Well, she's bending over a little bit, showing a little crack. She's got kind of boy shorts on, a polka dotted number, red, with black polka dots.
And that's not even like, because that's kind of like the three quarters angle. Like you got to.
You want a dead on.
Yeah,
ass
Eric,
shot.
You know what you got to do? You got to pull up the trailer for her porno.
Yeah, but you can't really do the. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, because there's
on the
a
bed.
few shots. Yeah, she's on the bed.
Have you seen the porno?
You know, I haven't. I heard it wasn't so good.
Oh.
Actually, you know what? No, that's wrong. I have seen it. I think it's posted on a
Why
few
would
free
it be
websites.
good? She's too good looking.
What do you mean? There's no such thing.
Bad angles and.
I see a rapper tearing her up.
Yeah.
Is he black guy, white guy?
Yeah. Is I think Brandy's little brother. I think that's who the.
Oh yeah. So
Steve's walking in. He couldn't possibly have anything on this.
Yes.
It's fake.
It's a nice dickie you're wearing. Jesus.
Thank you. The video.
How short is that shirt?
I know. I washed
What's the matter
it.
with you?
I washed it
I
once.
know. Where'd you dry it on, Venus?
Why are your shirts getting
It's
smaller?
ridiculous. I'm getting big.
I'm getting big. My shirts are the thing.
But they're shrinking.
What?
It's like they're getting high. They're too high.
I know.
Put your arms above your head. I see. It's like a midriff.
I know.
Why don't you should kick one heel up with your pinky in your mouth and go, tee. You're dressed coyly.
Thank you, Jim.
Shirt's too short, Steve.
Okay. I'll get a new shirt. The Kim Kardashian video sucks.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, there's not one shot of a nice big anywhere in
Actually,
it.
if that was true,
Oh, God almighty.
I would tell
Really?
you. But it's handheld and it's very jumpy. It's not like there was a cameraman shooting the whole
All right.
thing. The guy came home.
Thank you, but we're trying to do it in my pants right now.
She's on her stomach. I can tell you this one. She's on her stomach being jiggled back and forth, and it was very sexy.
Here we go, guys. Will in Dub Bronx. Will?
What's up?
Hey.
I got one. Smallville in my pants.
Oh, I get it. This game is ponderous.
Hey, let's have a little fun. Come on. Chris, what's up?
Looking at Kim Kardashian.
I know.
Banged.
Right, Chris.
Hey, little Jimmy, how I met your mother in my pants.
What do they get this from Prep Burger?
I'll tell you
They got
that
this bit from Prep Burger.
that was
All
an
right.
awful game. That Robert Kardashian.
Yeah.
Boy, did God not like him.
Why?
Yeah, gives him a slutty daughter and cancer. You know, not in that order. I mean, I'd rather have the slutty daughter than, the big seat, the big casino, Tony. But wow, see, he defends OJ, and look what happened to him.
A lot of the guys went down, huh?
His daughter.
A lot of cancer in that. A lot of
Please.
Please.
Well, at least Paris had the dignity to.
Yeah,
But her, she had to. With her, at least Paris. Was,
Yeah, well.
it's not that bad because it was a.
Was that an ass shot I was seeing there?
Wow, she looks like she's miserable.
Of course she is. Look at what's on her. Christ.
You're crazy.
Help.
We're on the radio still.
I know, I'm just saying.
Eric in Raleigh writes, Opie while looking at Kim Kardashian. Well, it's updated.
Was she a white girl? Oh, yeah, it's kind of sexy, actually. I'm into the cuckold stuff.
Oh, God. I can't watch that.
Growing pains in my pants. Different strokes in my pants. Father knows best in my pants. Deadwood. Deadwood in my pants. Who's the boss in my pants?
Is there a sitcom called This Bitch Stinks?
Oh, well, Kevin from Connecticut's got the best one yet, though. Match Game 76 in my pants. Yeah, let's go old school TV shows. McMillan and Wife. In my pants. In my pants.
This bit.
Old McMillan.
Old McMillan.
I Dream of Jeannie.
McMillan and beard.
Yeah.
In my pants.
McMillan and robe. It was so much fun.
McMillan and broth.
Stupid McMillan.
McMillan and friend to take care of my dog.
McMillan and bad news.
Anyway, Kim Kardashian. So Kim and her sisters, they did a PSA for
Oh,
what?
my God.
For Burma.
Look at that dumper.
She's amazing.
Oh.
She's absolutely amazing.
I'd kiss her buttocks.
You like that?
I would.
Just kiss it, Jimmy.
It's juicy.
She's tainted.
I wouldn't care.
No?
Why is she
showered
tainted?
first or hit a bidet
Just
first?
saying. She's probably tainted.
Why is she tainted, Ann?
I'm just saying.
Why would she be tainted? Kim Kardashian and her sisters put out a PSA about Burma. They are obviously truly concerned and take it very seriously. That's what's written down here.
Uh-huh.
Listen to Kim and her sisters. They're just terrific.
Until they open their mouths.
Exactly. That's what we're getting
Put
at.
something in it.
Yeah, exactly. Why the happy music? Thousands dead.
Is this like way too conservative? No, it's perfect. Besides, it's a black tie benefit. What's this benefit for again? Burping? Not burping. Burma. I was kidding.
Oh, my God.
Boy,
Thousands.
Wow.
Hundreds of thousands dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, too soon? What?
Not burping.
Making
Burma.
little jokes?
I was kidding. I wrote my whole thesis on Burma. It's a terrible situation over there.
Burma.
I know, it's awful. The corrupt military
First of all,
regime
it's not
has
called
control.
Burma.
Huh?
First of all, it's not called Burma anymore.
Who watches this?
Well, this is a PSA because you got to get some help over there. But they had her.
It's like a black tie benefit.
They had him say Burma because they can't say the real name.
Yeah.
Which is
Myanmar.
Is it VH1?
Myanmar.
Yeah, I think it's on one of those freaking channels.
Ugh, I know, it's awful. The
Garbage.
corrupt military regime has control, even though Aung San Suu Kyi's
Figures.
National League of Democracy won over 82% of the seats in the 1990 national elections. How do I look? Sexy.
Ryan Seacrest production, too. Good job. Even more brilliant contributions from him.
Yeah.
Guy's terrific.
They mentioned the government-sponsored rape in Burma before a cute joke to leave on a high note. Here we go.
yeah.
The Kardashians. The sisters, anyway.
Is it too short? Oh, it's a little too conservative. Really? I'm so kidding. Are you joking? You girls realize that free Burma would issue an end to child soldiers. And an end to government-sponsored rape. Burma. We're not kidding. It can't wait. Kim, did you really write your college thesis on Burma? What's a thesis?
Right after child
Totally
soldiers
kidding.
and rape. And
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
She's off my list.
Oh, boy. We didn't need to see that.
She's high on mine now.
We didn't need to see that.
I didn't know
Wow.
she enjoyed Tootsie Rolls that much.
Wow.
But how come she's not biting it?
Wow, we didn't need to see that.
Oh, my God.
That was kind of cool.
That was very uncomfortable for everybody.
It looked like a poster promoting racial harmony, like the two hands shaking.
Jesus.
Oh, boy.
Oh, that's difficult.
Why? She enjoyed a good Tootsie Roll.
It's difficult.
I tell you, when I watch these cuckold videos where the girl is just enjoying it and taunting the husband who's sitting across the room, the girls are so dirty.
You like that?
They're so dirty.
Can't even.
They make the popping sound. Just they pop it.
Someone just called KTU, got in on that hack bit and said, Opie and Anthony in my pants.
Oh, congrats.
There you go. Let's say hi. So what did you guys think of the Kardashian PSA there? Pretty awful, huh?
Oh, it was pretty funny.
They're great. They're helping. They're doing things. They're moronic.
They're huge stars for doing absolutely nothing.
Not their fault. They didn't make themselves stars. This dumb country did.
Oh, wow. That was close. I thought you weren't going to say country.
Oh, no.
I thought you were going to
abbreviate?
blame some woman.
Yeah.
Well.
Let's say hi to Justin in New Hampshire. Justin.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, man.
So I've got some yellow paint.
You got yellow paint?
I've got some yellow paint, and I'm walking up to the Verizon. I see the Rock 101 truck.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Give me that prize list. Hold on.
What's that?
Justin.
Yes.
All right, we're going to get Scorch back on the line. No one sees you yet, right?
No, not yet.
Well, we got to get Scorch on immediately. Immediately.
Don't let him see you yet.
Immediately.
Yeah. Hide.
I know. It's a wide open area, though, so it'll be tough for me to approach without him seeing me.
I'm going to try to do a little distraction. I'm going to keep you on one.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep you on the phone.
We'll distract him for you.
Yeah.
And you could go in. How much paint do you have? Why am I whispering? It's like he's going to hear.
Scorch is in a dog cage for a few days, raising money for a good cause, I guess.
A quarter of a what?
Coffee cup, small coffee cup.
A coffee cup?
All right.
Yeah, that goes a long way.
Yeah, just don't get in his eyes.
Oh.
No, of course not.
All right. We getting him on the line?
Very impressive.
As soon as I got Scorch, it's go time, okay?
Okay.
But we're going to keep you on the line, so don't say anything. I think we got him. I think we got him. Here we go. Scorch.
What's up, man?
I felt bad, man. I mean, we hung up on.
I feel bad about school. You don't feel bad, but it's okay.
I kind of feel bad. We hung up. We really want to know about that Canadian listener.
No, you don't. Don't do it.
What?
Hang on 1 second. Don't do it.
What's the matter?
What's wrong?
So, what do you want to know about?
What are you saying? Don't do.
I'm talking to some people here from the station.
What are they?
I think I'm busted, guys. They saw me.
Scorch.
What's up?
We got a guy that's going to throw yellow paint on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, we got a prize in the prize closet we have to give away.
Give him a prize. He said, can you tell him I did? Yeah, he did it.
Oh, we don't know.
Yeah.
That's what you do. We actually do these things.
He did it.
Yep, he did it. So, anyway, what do you need to know?
No.
I got a little spot on his jacket now.
No, we don't need to know anything. We wanted you to be live as we threw yellow paint on you.
Okay, I get it.
Okay, I get it.
Keep donating at rock101fm.com. How's that? Thanks for the plugs, guys.
All right. Bye, Scorch. That failed miserably.
And the winner is Scorch.
Yeah.
Yes, Scorch definitely won.
Justin, well, hold on the line. We'll
Nice
give you
try.
something.
Ain't going to be a camera.
All right.
You're going to get crap.
Huh?
I said it ain't going to be a camera, though.
No.
Damn Scorch. I think he must have people
looking out.
There looking out for him. What could have happened there, Sam? Would you think people are guarding a Scorch?
Well, as I called, he already had gotten yellow paint thrown on him.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, as I called him, he was texting me saying some guy just came up and threw yellow paint all over me.
That's not true.
So I mean, but he said it before we said anything, unless he's listening there in his dog cage. So he thought he was going to come on and talk about getting yellow paint.
Oh, well, maybe we have a winner somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah,
I want documented evidence.
All right, well,
whatever it is, the excitement is mounting.
Yeah, it's just too much to bear.
Yeah, we went with it. It failed miserably. What can I tell you?
Can I tell you, watching that Kardashian with both hands full?
Yeah.
Oh boy, what a good girl.
Wow. Well, what a surprise.
You're liking the Kim Kardashian?
I am
Absolutely.
hating it.
She's a rich, spoiled rich girl. It's great to
I
see.
can't watch that.
Give her a dose.
Jesus.
Look at that, two-handed. You got to respect him. I don't even know what his music is, but I'm a fan.
All you're thinking is the way her father looked when they said not guilty. And now look.
He would be making that same face.
Oh, my God. He'd be making that horrified look.
Like, what?
What?
She's what? With who?
Oh,
It doesn't look like he's at full capacity, though. It looks like there's a struggle going on. Camera shy, maybe.
Really? Either camera shy or maybe he's not turned on so much.
That's camera shy.
Wow, she is... You're right. That's two hands.
She's a wonderful girl. I'm now a fan.
The Louisville Slugger grip.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Raymond.
Choke up. No.
She's like Rod Carew. Just slap single the way she's holding it.
Jimmy, you like that right there?
That overhead view.
It's all right. I mean, it's not a fetish of mine, but I got so bored with most porn that I just kind of went into the interracial stuff because it was something I never liked. It's almost like, where do you go from here? Well, it's either this or goats and tall men and short women. I mean, you know. So I went into the cuckolding stuff, and I kind of like it, but that will get boring.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of quit porn, but I'm trying.
Yeah. You would get bored with stuff pretty quickly?
Dude, it's just...
Looking?
Yeah, picture yourself just naked diving into a cake and eating the cake until you're vomiting and still eating the cake. You'd go, wow, I want something other than cake. That's the way it was with pornography.
Wow.
It was, I've stopped all that stuff.
You did?
Trying real hard, yeah. It's difficult.
Trying real hard.
That's going to be a nightmare. No, it's got to be a nightmare.
Good luck.
No, you got to start feeling things,
Yeah, no you don't.
Have to.
That's why
Just
we're going to go see
keep yourself
Sex and the
dead.
City, Jimmy. Sex and the City. We're going to go see that movie.
No, I'm not going to see it.
For the show, we're going to see it.
No. I saw 88 minutes for the show. I'm not seeing sex.
It's someone else's turn, right?
Yeah.
Did your therapist tell you that you had to start feeling the real things instead of like computer screen things?
No, I know that though.
You do? You figured that out?
It's awful. I'm numb all the time.
Are you now feeling things?
A little better. I'm very depressed.
See, that's great. So you're feeling depression. Wow, wonderful. That doesn't sound very healthy.
Well, I'm going through a breakup. You're supposed to be depressed.
Yeah,
You dumped.
Yeah.
Supposed to be.
And he's depressed, because you got to get it all out there. What is it called? It's emotional vomiting.
Emotionally vomiting. Yeah.
Yeah, he's emotionally vomiting
Lonely.
right now. Let him be.
Yeah, it's
Do
depressed.
you get lonely a little bit?
Just a lot of regret.
A lot of regret?
Yeah.
Oh, that's something we don't want.
What's the regret, Jimmy? You want to share or no?
No, can't. Just I should have been better.
If I had any
That's all.
regret.
Do you have regret, Aunt?
I don't think I do. I don't know. I don't deal with things. I push everything down. Let me tamp it down.
Really?
Tamping rod.
Your emotions are like a
tamp it
musket.
down.
Is that a musket? Is that what you're talking about? Okay.
Like a musket. Just got to pack it down and make sure nothing comes out until it finally does explode.
It's not really. You're not really mad at that slow older man crossing the street. You're yelling at the old man across the street because he's dad and he's drunk again.
Is that it?
Of course.
I don't think any of my stuff goes back that far. Like, I really don't think that much damage was done that long ago.
That's the
I
problem.
just think it's like, what?
Everyone thinks that, but it all goes back to
I
our
don't
childhood.
know. I'm just thinking
It's
like
stuff you buried way inside, man. I'm telling you.
Like as far as a breakup goes, because I guess look at this, me and Jimmy were commiserating through a breakup. At first, it doesn't bother you. Like I wasn't bothered, and I'm not bothered in a way that like I have regrets or anything. But it's like this whole, you just kind of, well, that is a real big change of lifestyle, So now you just kind of hang around going, what do I do now?
Are you lonely?
I guess sometimes it gets lonely. Sometimes Anthony's lonely. Don't play this song. It's sad. I might start pulling a Jimmy and crying.
Fast forward like 2 weeks, me and Anthony are just nude under the sheets. Comforting each other, in quotes.
Having our own cuddle party.
You got a wild imagination there, Jimmy. That's a big step forward right there.
Yeah, we have an announcement to make. We ruined the show.
Why can't it just be you're lonely and you go to a ball game together? Why does it have to be
It's got to be right into bed. We don't even go out first.
Why does it go right to
why
naked
bother?
under the sheets? How about a Yankee game together?
You know how good we would be?
What's up, Matt? We're trying to yellow painted thing.
Matt, right?
Yeah, what's up, Matt?
Yo, all right. We're on the roof of the Verizon building. We have a ladder. We climbed up there, and we have yellow paint and balloons, like water balloons. We fill them up with yellow paint and a little bit of water. We're about ready to throw them on Scorch.
Can anyone see you?
No way.
No one's seen me.
All right, get
now.
Scorch back on the phone.
I'm not even believing this.
I don't either. Matt, are you lying?
No, I'm not lying.
All right,
I'm with my friend Matt.
First of all, how do you get on the roof?
We have a ladder. We brought a ladder.
A ladder up on the roof of a what?
A Verizon building.
A Verizon building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one questioned you taking ladders and going up on the roof of a building.
No one saw us. Put it up there.
How did you get the water and paint in the balloons?
We filled a little bit of water first, then we mixed the paint in.
All right, let's see if it's real. We're
I don't
Scorch
believe
back
it.
on the line. All right, when we start talking to Scorch, Matt, it's go time, okay?
All right.
All right, hold on a second. And we were in the middle of a real moment on the show, too.
I'm done with it.
All right, here. As soon as you hear us talk to Scorch there, Matt. You need the big ending today. This could be it. Why is Sam still talking to Scorch? Scorch.
What's up, guys?
We kind of feel bad that we're trying to get our listeners to throw paint on you.
Yeah, no, that's okay. You know what? Like, it's, all right, go. Okay, go. The worst part is that they didn't donate any money afterwards, which is all I care about.
See, I knew they were full of crap. It's just
a complete bust.
Yeah, there's no
All right, Scorch.
Next time, if you could, have them donate money next time.
All right, Scorch. Thanks. Enjoy your time in the dog cage.
Thanks, man.
Can we never go back to Scorch again? Just never go back to Scorch ever again. I thought I was going to get a little therapy there.
Huh?
I thought I was going to get a little therapy there with the all by myself plan.
All right, we got a couple more minutes.
No, now I'm kind of, I'm out of the moment.
You were brave. You were ready to share.
I was ready to share a little, I think.
But you said now that the breakup is a little more difficult, even though you don't want to go back there.
No, it was just that, and I think work on the I'm having a lot of work done at the house.
Yeah.
So it's not like I could have people over like that. So it's not like I'm kind of in a limbo phase here, which kind of sucks.
What do you mean you can't have people over?
Like, it's hard to have people over. I know once the
what do you
pool
mean? Like
gets put in,
family, friends, couples. What?
Yeah, like anybody.
Why is that hard?
And chicks and stuff. It's just something like that. It's just one of, there's scaffolding in my living room. It's just some kind of a weird situation where I feel like I'm not settled in. And then it kind of gets to the point where you're like, and you got to deal with like a breakup thing, which is a total change of lifestyle. Because, we're going out for a long time.
Yeah.
So you kind of get used to certain things. And then it's like, So sometimes I'll just shuffle downstairs to my refrigerator and open it up and look in. And then shut it. Because I'm not even hungry. And then just walk around because I don't know what else to do.
That's got it.
And I can't go out because it's stupid. You got to get up for work.
I think the big house doesn't help.
No, it'll help when it's done. I know that.
You think?
Like, do you know what my summer's going to be? Just hanging out at the pool. Hanging out by the pool.
But you got a big house that is perfect if you're, I hate to say it, but if you're like either married or with someone, I know, or in a serious relationship. It's very
maybe.
It's very homey.
Yeah.
Like, you should probably like sell the house and like get a big place here in Manhattan.
No,
it would be way more manageable though.
I like a nice house out in the suburbs with a big pool. Once it's done, it'll be great. Get my fence up today, and then put the pool in, and then all the inside will be done, and then I'll feel like I got people over, and then it won't be so lonely.
Is it getting better?
Yeah, it's just it's a change of lifestyle that you got to get used to. So some days, most days, I would say, are like fine, but then there's an occasional day where you're like, this kind of sucks.
Would you get serious again?
Not in the near future.
But you're open to that
not
possibility?
looking to it. Eventually, I'm not going to be, you
just need some time.
60 flurf, 70 flurf years old,
you just need
sitting there without anybody.
You just need some time right now.
Yeah. I need time. That's what I need. I need time.
You need to feel.
No, I don't like feeling.
But Jimmy was right about that.
Feeling sucks.
You need to feel.
I don't know. Feeling is it's a little overrated because I know Jimmy's just depressed. He was saying that, and I know what that it feels like. You just feel like meh. What are you gonna do?
Well, how do you get out of it? You just let it run its course.
Yeah, time ticks away, and then you're out of it. It's happened in the past,
Is there any way to get out of it sooner?
Girls.
But like therapy or
no.
Mother's Little Helper.
No.
Little
Nothing
pill
like
or
that.
something. Nothing.
A glass of wine or 8.
You just gotta let it run its course, I guess.
Yeah, you just gotta you get through it, move on. Do you think this sympathy act will work with any of the girls? You think that anyone will be like, "Oh, poor Anthony"?
I think you're doing just fine. I don't know for sure, but I think you're doing A-okay, my friend. A lot of people out there would love to be in your position. You know that?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I know.
They would love to be single with a big, huge house, and
I'm happy to be me.
And race cars in the driveway and guns in the basement. They would love to be you.
You make me sound a lot crazy when you describe me that way.
Having your pick of the litter, I would imagine.
Pick of the litter?
They would love to be in your position.
Oh, well, I don't know.
What's the end game?
That's just it. That's it, too. I don't know what the end game is. Like, I was so used to being in a relationship that I don't know what the end game is. Is the end game another relationship? And then you wind up going through that, and like, after a while, you're just like, meh.
Does it scare you to be alone, though?
It doesn't scare me to be alone.
Right now, no, but as you get older?
No, it's not a scare thing. It's a you're not going to be happy thing. You just kind of...
You don't think you can be happy by yourself?
I don't think so long term. I don't think I can be happy by myself long term.
Wow.
I don't think I can.
I'm learning something today.
Really?
I absolutely am.
Am I sharing?
I think it gives people around you hope for you.
Ooh, hope. Yeah. What the hell am I? Some kind of goddamn psychotic?
There might be some
ass.
There may be some chattering going on around you. No.
Oh, really? That I'm crazy?
No.
Who's saying I'm crazy? I'll show you. I'll show you crazy.
No, because I know you'll think about that all day.
No, long term. No, long term.
It's good to know that you have hope to get back into a relationship someday.
I've been in one my whole life.
I know.
Not one, but a few. But they've all been pretty long-term, steady relationships. That's the kind of guy I've always been.
Last two have been very long, extremely long. Between the two, it's 15 years somewhere.
Jesus Christ!
15 years.
What the hell is that?
In a relationship, right?
I want my new girlfriend to have just been born when I first got into that relationship. So she has to be 15 years old.
Oh, boy.
I want a girl that was born on my wedding day.
You want them to be younger than the Playboy centerfolds.
I'm kidding. Jesus Christ.
Go with the Playboy centerfold cutoff. If they're younger than the Playboy centerfolds.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't looked at Playboy in a while.
Don't look at the ages. It'll freak you the F
yeah,
out. Like,
I don't even. Why would you look at Playboy? You can punch up stuff so much better. Right, Jim? Oh, shit. I'm sorry. Oh, why did I just curse?
Because we're comfortable.
Because it's after 9.
We're finally talking about what's going on in your head there. So I'm thinking you're going to, ride out the depression.
It's not a depression. It's this occasional feeling of just not being happy guy.
Okay. So
I'm not going to start pheasing out over here. Ronnie!
A little depression.
Ronnie!
A little depression. You'll get through that.
I don't like calling it that. It upsets me.
But that's probably what it is.
Can't you just be unhappy in this day and age? Everything's got to be depression or
but you're not
ADD or obsessive compulsive.
You're not unhappy, though. I've seen you. You're enjoying your life. It's just very different than what you're used to.
That's what I'm saying. For the most part, it's very enjoyable. But then occasionally you get those moments of just like kind of...
maybe sadness.
You're thinking like, where is this going? Where am I going to end up here? What's the end game? Mm-hmm. And that's what it is. There is no end game. So I'm kind of an endgame guy. I kind of like the
but you can't
security of.
You can't think that way. You just it's easy to say, I guess. But
yeah, I can. I just
you just got to ride it out.
Wait until whatever happens. Endgame happens.
That'll freak you out thinking about what's the end game. The end game you shouldn't even be worrying about. You should just be living day to day and enjoying the hell out of the fact that you're single and that there's an interest there.
Doggone it, that's what I'm doing.
All right, and invite me to your pool when it's done.
Oh, pool should be done a couple of weeks.
Nice.
Yeah, very happy.
All right. What a cluster F at the end of the show. I got obsessed with Scorch getting yellow paint on him, and it just didn't work.
Stupid Scorch.
All right, guys. We're off to XM. You guys have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Why not?
In the world of Radio Shock Jocks, the biggest are Opie and Anthony.
These people say shocking things that border on offensive in order to entertain their audience.
I refuse to sit here and think that radio has to be nice.
Why? Why does radio, out of any other medium, have to be nice? We are being now held to a standard where we have to be nice and make people feel good. Go screw!
Radio Bad Boys, Opie and Anthony.
Controversial radio personalities, Opie and Anthony. Infamous DJs, Opie and Anthony.
Talk show radio hosts, Opie and Anthony.
Opie and Anthony.
Opie and Anthony.
Radio Shock Jocks, Opie and Anthony. Opie and Anthony. Shock Jocks, Opie and Anthony. Shock Jocks, Opie and Anthony. Opie and Anthony. Shock Jocks, Opie and Anthony. Opie and Anthony.
I want to be called the A-Man. Like you're the I-Man, I'll be the A-Man. How about I call you the A-H man? Don't get started again now.
Opie and Anthony.
In the middle of the night, I get an email from Eric that I read this morning when I got up that he's very, very depressed because his refrigerator door fell off.
It made a break for him.
Opie and Anthony.
Stupid Australians whose national hero got killed by a docile flying fish.
This is the worst. The worst show This is the worst show I've ever been on.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
XM satellite. Mic's on?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
There it
XM
is.
satellite radio. Where XM announced they have 9.3 million subscribers.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's almost 10, I would say.
Well, when we started at XM, how many years ago now?
Oh, God.
3.5 years ago?
What?
3.5 years? Thank you.
There we go.
It was 2.2 million subscribers.
2.2, and now there's 9.
So we've added about 7 million, 7.1 million.
Million?
We're responsible for 7.1 million subscribers.
Yes.
Yes.
Because that's how many more came aboard since we've been here. So
absolutely,
obviously, we're responsible for all of them.
We have a fine author. Actually, I think this is your first book, right? First one. Congratulations! Look at this. How do you get one of these published? Come on in. It's Michael Sheehan. He wrote a book on terrorism called "Crush the Cell."
How to defeat terrorism without terrorizing ourselves.
That's the key.
Yeah,
that is the key.
Certainly is.
Because we're all a bunch of, scaredy cats.
Everyone gets very scared with terrorism. The fact of the matter is, I mean, not to underplay any event, but the fact of the matter is, relatively speaking, not many people, Americans, have died from terrorism.
No, that's right. Terrorism is actually an instrument of the weak. They kill innocents and civilians, and they want us to overreact.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact of the matter is now it's almost 7 years since 9/11. Al-Qaeda has had difficulty. And unfortunately, there's a terrorism industry out there that wants to keep hyping this. And unfortunately, even though they sound like they're tough guys, they actually are emboldening, they're making Al-Qaeda stronger by encouraging that psychological reaction to a next attack. And so in the book, I talk about what the threat is, what it's not, what's a lot of bullshit, what works and what doesn't work, and then how to react if they do slip through. They may attack us here in New York City tomorrow, but we shouldn't overreact and give them a victory they don't deserve.
Well, Mike, didn't people say that after the 93 bombing that it was like you can't get crazy, you can't start profiling, you can't do all this? And then, meanwhile, they were back to work, and they figured out a way to pull it off.
But 93, and again, I go through this in the book, the 93 attack, we didn't get what was happening in 93, that this was actually a movement. Al-Qaeda attacked us 3 times in 3 years. They blew up our embassies in 98, they blew up the USS Cole in 2000, and of course 9/11. That's 3 attacks in 37 months. And it started, like you said, back in 93 with the first World Trade Center attack. And we just didn't get it. Once we turned on them after 9/11, we've been able to really marginalize them, to keep them under pressure. If we back off on that pressure, they'll come back and kill us again in pretty substantial numbers. But if we keep the pressure on them with intelligence operations from the mountains of Afghanistan to the streets of New York City, if we keep the heat on them, we're going to marginalize them. But we have to stay focused. And then if they do slip through, to take it in context, don't overreact, come back at them, clean it up, arrest them, prosecute them, kill them if you have to, and then get on with life. So it's a balance.
The overreaction, though, usually comes from, unfortunately, our own media, who love scaring us. Boy, do they love to scare us.
The culture of fear. We talk about it all the time on this show.
So how do you...
It's good press, you know, and I remember the Virginia Tech killing with this guy, Cho. And he killed 30 people in about an hour, and the press just kept showing this guy's picture with his 9mm and these poses. And the guy was a deranged little punk. But he had these visions, and it was great theater, and we played into it for a while. And I was working with NBC News at the time, and I told them, you know, you got to take this guy's picture off of the radio, and they did, and they were actually got a little bit more responsible.
Too late, though.
A little too late, and I think they
watermarked it. Like they claimed ownership of it. They put, like everywhere else you saw shows pictures, because it had been mailed to NBC, they had their watermark on it.
Yeah, and I think they understood that was a bit problematic. They had that mailed to them, and I think they again, to their credit, I think they understood later that, you know, they got to be careful about how you manage that.
They understood after they took advantage of it and got their ratings, though. Let's be honest.
Well, everybody else ran it, too. Everyone else ran it.
Well, they're all guilty of the same exact thing. Absolutely. Yeah.
It's ever since news became business, and not so much information as it is business these days. I mean, that's what you're going to get: sensationalism and
and
scare tactics.
It's inevitable. But what I try to say in my book is there will be another attack, and there will be great footage of it for news, because there'll be carnage and people dying and buildings knocked down. But I just ask that the terrorism experts, my friends and colleagues, get out there and put it in a little context and remind people it's been almost 7 years now. They have not been back here in the United States.
Why haven't they been back?
Because we've turned our focus onto them. I believe, by the way, again, in my book I talk about that I believe that we have defeated Al-Qaeda or marginalized them, and they're not completely gone away, with the assets we had in place on 10th of September. We have spent tens of billions of dollars since then, in my view, on a complete waste of time and money. We had enough assets at the time. We didn't need any more of this spending. In New York City, where I worked at NYPD, NYPD has a shrinking police force. And Ray Kelly, the commissioner of NYPD, built a counterterrorism apparatus in New York City with less resources. You just make priorities, and you get focused, and you make it happen. But the federal government is drunk on spending. They need tens of billions of dollars, new bureaucracies, new buildings, and a bunch of bureaucrats and contractors running around in Washington writing memos to each other, when the real work is done with CIA operatives in Afghanistan, with intelligence operatives in the U.S., penetrating these cells with the undercovers, informants, just like you would a mafia operation.
That's
how it works.
That's what people don't understand. Like Hillary Clinton, she'll go in there and start yelling that we need more money now for security here in New York. And it's such crap, because it looks good on the outside. Because, hey, she's our representative and she's asking for money. This is great. We'll be safer. When the truth of the matter is, no, like you said, the resources are there. They just weren't being used properly, weren't in communication with each other properly. So, yeah, the political end of it is never really even with what we need militarily, whether it's covert.
Exactly right. And I think if you measure someone's toughness on terrorism by how many billion-dollar programs they ask for, then you're really
Why weren't the resources used properly on 9/11 then? Because you said the system was in place, and what went wrong?
We just didn't get it. You know, I write in my book about on October 17th, 2000, you had the third presidential debate between Vice President Al Gore and Governor George Bush. This is when they're running for president 2000. It was 5 days after the USS Cole blew up. 40-foot hole in a $1 billion warship. 17 sailors are dead. Their bodies aren't even brought back to Andrews Air Force Base yet. And 5 days later, we're having a national debate on TV for the presidential debate, and the issue wasn't even raised by either candidate. So this isn't something I'm not partisan. I'm fiercely independent. Bush didn't raise it. Gore didn't raise it. The press didn't raise it, and neither did the audience didn't raise it. And so we just didn't get it. It was
right,
terrorism.
Military, you think?
It was overseas. Yeah. It was something far away. We didn't understand that these people were gonna come to the U.S. And actually, in '93, going back to what you brought earlier, the signals were there that they were going to come back to the U.S. So we were just asleep at the switch. And on September 12th, we woke up and put the heat on them. And with the assets we had in place, we've done a good job.
You said at one point, it says that there are many terrorist cells in America, and talk about what motivates them. Suicide bombers, like in Jerusalem and all that stuff, I mean, it seems like that's a very effective tool to really make a society uncomfortable. And I'm wondering, why haven't, I mean, these 19 were suicide bombers, but why haven't we had more of them, like Christmas rush hour in Macy's? Why haven't two of them stood at the entrances during a rush?
I know.
Theaters,
with
a few dead people, a few dead suicide bombers, you could do a lot of psychological damage.
It's the most frequently asked question and the best question. And the answer is because there aren't that many of them. The suicide bombing phenomena normally exists only where there's a war. Like in Palestine, where a group of people feel oppressed, in this case by the Israeli army in Gaza, or in Chechnya, where the Russian army is in Chechnya, or in Afghanistan, or in Iraq, where there's a war going. In a peaceful place like the U.S., Western Europe, people just aren't really willing to strap a bomb around themselves and blow themselves up, and they don't have the infrastructure to help them get there.
It's harder to foster that type of stuff here.
Right, because you need the cells there to bring a guy who may be thinking about doing it, but then you got to give him the psychological preparation, and you got to have the logistical support to actually give him a bomb. So it's the conditions. You need a certain perfect storm to get a young kid to put a bomb around him. You need that wartime environment. You need the logistical support to give him the bomb, and you need that final psychological preparation. They normally make a tape, they put the headband on, they stand there posed with a weapon, and that kind of crosses the psychological Rubicon. Now I'm ready, now I'm committed, and now I'm going to take a bomb into a bus. And that infrastructure doesn't exist here. And that's why we haven't had many of these. And just pure luck.
Yeah. What about the end game? What about defeating terrorism? If we always have to be on guard, and we're always leery of it, then they're in fact working because they are terrorizing us. How does it end where we get back to those good old days of it just happens over there and we don't walk around? I remember walking around airports, no armed military personnel. I mean, it was... because it could never happen here.
Mommy goes right to the gate.
Yeah. Do you ever see us getting back to a point like that?
Not for a long time at our airports.
Way.
No, not for a long time. And unfortunately, Al-Qaeda...
Well, the media's got to change too, don't you think?
I think everybody has to. And Al-Qaeda is still a threat, and they're still a threat to aviation. So it's going to be a long time before we can...
You really think so?
Yes. They would like to get back at us. So we have to protect aviation. I'm not sure we have to toss Grandma upside down and every time she goes through, but... And so I think over time that'll loosen up a little bit, but not much. I think that Al-Qaeda will be around a long time, and I hope that the American people, the common person, kind of relaxes and lets this thing go off in the back burner. But we can never, as counterterrorism officials, ever lose focus on these guys.
A lot has been talked about with profiling. There's a line, I think, with profiling. It's like, it's not 100% guaranteed, but I think it certainly helps. Why is there's this denial that profiling is effective?
Well, it swings back and forth. You know, we're here in New York City, and right now NYPD is under a lot of pressure because of profiling of minorities in the streets of New York City. And a couple cops actually tried to arrest a African-American chief the other day. And that's really a problem. That's a mistake. So sometimes if it's a pendulum swing. You profile and you shake down Islamic-looking guys for terrorism or shake down African-American boys for carrying a 9mm, and you can get in trouble trouble. On the other hand, cops do know that there are certain patterns of who is conducting certain types of crimes. And again, it's balance. As in everything else I talk about in this book, it's striking the balance between being focused of getting terrorists, yet not hyping ourselves and hyperventilating ourselves into self-terrorizing.
Where are we wasting our time?
I would say the creation of these huge new bureaucracies in Washington has been a complete waste of money. The intelligence budget, by the way, and I believe in intelligence, but we're talking about small numbers of operatives. The intelligence budget is almost $50 billion a year. We defeated the Soviet Union with $25 billion for our intelligence budget. It's twice as big. And it's just these monstrosities of bureaucracies in Washington, which I don't think contribute at all. And even I was in the U.S. Army Special Forces in Fort Bragg when I went down there to visit a year ago. All I see is these new buildings going up with colonels running around giving PowerPoints to each other. The A-team in the field, which I used to be a part of, they don't care about that. The more of those guys, the worse. So I think what's happened since 9/11 is the Defense Department, the intelligence communities have had a blank check. Because if you vote against it, you're weak on terrorism.
Right.
And they're just building these monstrosities of bureaucracy when really the real work that needs to be done, penetrating a cell somewhere in some mountain, is a couple guys with some creativity and some guts. And it doesn't cost a lot of money. You just got to be focused, creative, and got to stay on it.
Doesn't Washington frown on covert operations? I mean, obviously, it's the best way to infiltrate some of these groups and get the intelligence we need. But a lot of times you want, again, these politicians want to seem like they're helping the people. And, hey, look what I'm exposing. This spending's going toward this. And there are certain things that need to be secret.
No, exactly. The irony of it is we love our movies. We love Jack Bauer of 24. We love the James Bond movies. But we don't want it to really happen. We really don't want guys to do spying. We don't really want them to kill terrorists because when it happens, there's this huge investigation and they throw somebody under the bus. And a bureaucracy reacts very logically. When that type of thing happens, they just crawl into a shell. And the bureaucrats and the lawyers take over. And then you have a CIA and an FBI, which is basically emasculated. And that I worry about the pendulum swinging back. We need tough, aggressive, creative guys in the CIA and the FBI. And if there's an investigation every year because of a wiretap controversy or something, you wind up crushing them into oblivion.
Is the $25 million reward, it just seems like, I mean, that worked, I think, on Saddam, and I think al-Zarqawi, I want to say, was given up for that, but it's like, it's almost like with bin Laden, he's a billionaire, so the people around him know he's got more money than any reward they're going to get, and there's like this religious fanaticism which attaches people to him. Is that probably not going to get us bin Laden?
Sometimes rewards work. Ramzi Youssef, the bomber of the 93 World Trade Center, was turned in for a reward in Pakistan. So sometimes it works. In bin Laden's case, it will not work. He is up with those tribes, very isolated in the middle of the mountains in Pakistan. They don't even know about the reward, so it probably won't work. He's got layers of protection. He's buried out there. The way we're going to catch bin Laden, and we really do need to get him and his sidekick, Zawahiri, is with an intelligence operation. We need to penetrate that organization, send an informant, just like up through the mafia. You arrest the petty drug seller or mafia guy, you turn them, you send them back up the organization. So you use that type of penetration, an informant or an undercover. You zero on his location, use signals intelligence, listen to their phones, you vector in, you find them, run some operations. Hopefully one day you get lucky and you take them out.
You hit a building maybe that they're in, like the way they got. What did they get?
The number 3 guy, the famous number 3 guy of Al Qaeda, which I would love to get a piece of that life insurance policy on those guys because we kill them on a regular basis.
It keeps changing, right?
Well, and that's good news. It's a good news story. A lot of people say, "Oh, you know, our intelligence agencies are making that up." No, and I think it's true. The number 3 Al Qaeda guy who comes out and starts operating.
Yeah, who wants to be that guy?
We find him and bomb him.
It's always the number 3 guy. Yeah.
Didn't they just not get this guy though? I heard they didn't get al-Zarqawi's guy.
Well, they got the wrong name. That's a guy in Iraq. They thought they had him. They didn't have him.
Right.
They still need to go after that guy.
He's the Al-Qaeda leader in Iraq.
Exactly.
And we know where Osama is, for the most part, within a few miles?
Not within, no, I don't think so.
No.
Think about the mountains of Waziristan. This is those tribal areas in Pakistan. Think of them like the Appalachian Trail between Maine and Georgia.
So
it's a huge area.
So we don't even have it pinpointed in a certain area of the mountains?
Well,
I thought we did by now.
Sometimes we do, and we've thought we've had him a few times, and he slipped through. And so it comes and goes.
Is he still powerful?
he still matters in my view, and he matters. He's a symbol to the movement, to the international movement.
His face will always be attached to the worst.
Exactly.
Is it better?
terrorist,
Is it better that he's alive or
No,
dead?
Dead, in my view. And
Well,
there are
wouldn't
some,
that really motivate a lot of people?
They're pretty motivated already.
No,
and-
that's obvious.
No, but I
mean-
think that the fact that he's still alive shows a certain strength and defiance of the U.S. I'd like to kill him and get him off
Right,
of the
I
scene.
understand that angle, sure.
And for justice as well.
And it's not one of those situations where you're like, well, who knows if the next guy that comes in could be worse.
How could he be
It's like,
worse?
exactly, yeah. So
And
you do
he's
want
a,
to take
he's a
him out.
major symbol, and I think he needs to be taken out. Also, those camps still matter. I like in the book I told a story about, remember when the London bombing? They had this guy's name was Mohammed Siddiqui Khan. He lived in Leeds. He was a middle class boy from Leeds who took trips to Pakistan back and forth. And in Pakistan, in those Al Qaeda camps, he learned how to make a bomb. He made a tape. He was further radicalized. He comes back to Leeds, recruits a few of his buddies who probably wouldn't have done anything without his leadership. And they take 4 bombs into the subway trains of London and kill 52 people. So that's where you see the relevance of the Al-Qaeda central apparatus in Pakistan, the training, the radical ideology, the preparing of these guys to come back to the West and conduct an operation. That's why we need to really knock them out in Afghanistan and prevent that movement back and forth.
Speaking of the subway bombings, could that happen? I mean, obviously it could happen, but what are the odds of it happening in New York City? Are we safe as far as that type of attack goes? And second part of the question, what kind of attack you think will happen next?
Well, they like transportation attacks. And when I was at NYPD, we instituted this random bag searches here because we recognize that subways are a target. They blew up trains in Spain. They blew up the subways in London. The Chechens have attacked subways in Moscow. So it's a favorite target. But when I ride the subway, and I have a 5-year-old boy who lives here in New York City, and he rides the subway. That's what he likes to do on weekends. He just loves it. And I ride it with him. We have about 4 to 6 million riders a day. There's about 600 stations. If Al Qaeda pushes me out of the subway, my 5-year-old boy, I've given them a victory they don't deserve. Could they attack the subway tomorrow? Possibly. But will I get on the subway when I leave here? Absolutely yes.
What do you think a big threat to? One thing that people have talked about was that there were after the Soviet Union collapsed, there's the portable nukes that were missing, these suitcase nukes. Right. I have 2 questions. One, how likely is it? I mean, obviously they want one, but how likely is it they'll get one? And how big are they? I mean, I know suitcase, is an expression for it. How realistically big is it?
That's very highly sensitive information. They're bigger than a suitcase, though, but they're small. They're small enough to move around. And there's different types and sizes of the smaller nukes. I think that threat is serious, and you always have to stay focused about loose nuclear weapons or nuclear materials. But in fact, the fact of the matter is if Al-Qaeda was going to get a loose nuke, they would have done that about 8 years ago. Now those are tightened up a lot better than they were before. The Soviet Union broke apart 15 years ago, over 15 years ago. Since then, a lot of money has been invested in trying to police up all that stuff to try to make sure those materials are safeguarded. So I think it's going to be difficult for Al-Qaeda to get their hands on something like that. They'd love to do it.
And do you think the leadership of Al-Qaeda, however tattered they are at this point, do you think they'd think of any repercussions against themselves by the entire world and making the United States completely sympathetic if they did do something as extreme as use a nuclear device? You would have to think, all right, these we like to picture them as these savage animals that are just out to kill us, but there's got to be someone with a little sense that would go, this would really make martyrs of America and kind of give them a better view to the world.
Is that wishful thinking?
There is some.
It might be.
There is some restraint on Al-Qaeda, but I wouldn't trust them with a nuke. For instance, I'll show you some of the restraint in Iraq. Remember Zarqawi? He was the Al-Qaeda guy in Iraq who got killed about 2 years ago. He was a real thug. He was the guy on TV sawing people's heads off, and he was also killing other Muslim Shias, and he launched an attack into Jordan where he blew up a wedding. And there was a repulsion even in Al Qaeda.
Right, yeah.
Of these are the worst people. So Zarqawi got himself a little bit crosswise with Al Qaeda because he was sawing people's heads off on film because he blew up a wedding. And so there are restraints even on the worst of terrorists.
What was her name? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but what was her name? Margaret, the woman who was killed. She was a friend to the Iraqis. She had spent 30 years over there.
Oh, right.
And the fact that Zarqawi, they killed her.
Yes.
And they threw water on her when she was crying. It was they wouldn't even I think Hezbollah even released condolences to this. I mean, it's fucked up too. But I mean, Margaret Hassan, I think her name was.
Right.
And that was something that even they.
So there is some restraint. However, I think Al Qaeda is the most dangerous of all terrorist organizations that have the least restraint. And I believe if they could get their hands on one of these weapons of mass destruction, they would use it. So we really need to, in my view, the way you defend yourself from that is not by setting up all these screening things in ports. I think that's a waste of time and money either. Because they'll just, if they had it, if they had it in a boat, they'd be like a drug smuggler. They'd just download it to a smaller boat and bring it on shore. They wouldn't bring it through the cargo screener. So why build those things? The way you prevent them from getting their hands on these type of materials is by crushing the cell, crushing the organization so that it doesn't have the capability to get it. Once they get it, you're in trouble. Some sort of defensive mechanisms are not likely to help you. It's too late.
Yeah, the organization, it has to be broken down. The lines of communication, the finances, all of those things, they were very well put together before 9/11. I mean, when you look and do some reading on what it took for them to organize that, just years that they were able to put this together. They had the money, the cash flow, the communication was there. They were traveling. If you could break that down, it makes it very difficult for them to organize.
Absolutely. The travel is important. And this is why our airports are always going to have a lot of focus. And our borders, which that discussion is also important. If you can prevent them from traveling, from raising money, it hampers them. It really it denies their organization the capability to become more sophisticated. And so even if they do slip through with someone with a 9mm maul or a small bomb on a bus, this isn't something that's going to take down our country. And we have to keep that in mind. Sometimes I talk to people about, imagine if the terrorists wipe out an entire mid-sized city in the United States and shut down ports for over a week. What would that do to the United States? And I said, it'd be horrible, where our country would go into a tailspin. I said, no, that already happened. Katrina wiped out a city and shut down the ports in the Gulf for over a week. And guess what? That year, our economy as a nation grew by 4.5%. We're an incredibly big and resilient place. So if we don't terrorize ourselves, if they blow up our bus or knock down a building, it doesn't even register in a country with a $13 trillion annual economy. It happened. Al-Qaeda depends on us self-terrorizing and paralyzing ourselves. If a bomb goes off in a bus in New York City, they'll want us to shut down all buses across the country and search every passenger. So it paralyzes our country. We shouldn't do that. We're giving them a victory they don't deserve.
Wow. You brought up a great point there with Katrina, because if that was terrorist bombs on the levees that flooded the city like that, we would have, you're right, tailspin, the market would have just gone down the crap. Right. But since it was an act of nature, it did shut down a city completely, ports, and
the country
we went on.
Prospered that year.
Interesting.
It's tragedy for New Orleans, but the country got over it.
Houston.
I want to go back to 9/11. What do you think of the conspiracy theories? They're out there and very frustrating.
I did a radio show in San Francisco about a few days ago, and
it's a conservative town.
Oh my gosh! In the middle of it, the guy says to me, well, NORAD, which is this Air Force command, they must have known something. They were doing exercises that day, and he starts talking about F-16s. And I said to him, are you mean that the United States Air Force was in conspiracy with Al-Qaeda?
Exactly.
And I basically said, you're nuts. No, it's hard. I understand conspiracy theories. Even half of Americans believe that the government was involved in the JFK assassination. There's so much murky stuff around it. People use conspiracies to explain the unexplainable. And when I travel in the Middle East, people say to me, how, the 19 jokers with box cutters? Come on, that didn't happen. You guys, you guys are the most powerful country in the world. That couldn't have happened. The CIA did it. The Jews and the CIA and the Mossad did it. Israel was involved. We know, you guys wink, wink. And I'm saying, no, that's not the case. But they have to see some conspiracy. The fact is, Al-Qaeda was around. 19 guys got through a system that was asleep. And everything went right for them that day, and they knocked down 2 buildings.
And not everything, though, because the last plane didn't go.
Right.
I mean, 75% of their plan worked, but as soon as passengers knew what they were doing, that last plane went down.
I always say it wasn't guys with box cutters, it was passengers with hope that actually allowed the terrorists to do what they did, because no one had ever done anything like that. So the passengers, usually from movies or past history, you sit there, you land on the tarmac, you wait.
That's a great point.
It just happens. But it was this hope that everyone had that it's going to be okay, that they didn't attack. The second the passengers, in the last plane knew that no, they're crashing this, they got up and started moving.
And it was pilots trained to negotiate and come out of the cockpit.
They were told.
It was that's what they were supposed to do.
Yep.
I have 2 questions, because one's a very easy answer, I'm sure, for you. I don't know the answer. Well, first question is, who's our most valuable ally so far? I mean, I'm going to guess Musharraf, but I could be wrong. And the response the U.S. had when it was first going to Afghanistan, and now, is this what Al-Qaeda anticipated? They knew there'd be a response. Have we underestimated, have they underestimated us or overestimated us, or what, on a response?
Let me answer the first question first. They did anticipate us coming to Afghanistan, but they thought Afghanistan would look like Iraq, that they would mire us in a quagmire for a decade-long war. They didn't realize they were going to get the crap beat out of them in Afghanistan as quickly as they did. Now, they did escape, unfortunately. I wish we'd gotten bin Laden and when he went out the back door through Tor into Pakistan. But they thought they were going to really bog us down in Afghanistan. Now it kind of looks like it's coming back a little bit, but they didn't expect to be defeated so quickly in that. So they underestimated, but they've kind of regrouping anyhow. Our most important allies are probably the 2 most important countries in the war in terrorism are Pakistan and Saudi Arabia, and they're both allies, but they're troubled allies. Pakistan has problems in the border areas there. Now they're talking to the Taliban, and Musharraf and the Pakistanis are key allies. We've got to keep them together. Saudi Arabia is also a key ally. They've been fighting Al-Qaeda for 3 or 4 years, but at the same time, some of the funding comes out of there. Some of the ideological fervor comes out of there. So these are 2 key countries that we can't turn our back on. We don't always like what they do. They're not always perfect allies, but they're the most important ones because they're in the middle of it.
But don't their people hate us? It's like if Musharraf goes, or I think it's the House of Saudi, if they fall, won't the radicals in Iran just move right in, after the Shah left or was thrown out by the Ayatollah?
Yeah, there's some fear of that, both in Pakistan and Saudi, that these may not be the best people, but if they go, we will have worse. But actually, in Pakistan in particular, Saudi Arabia is a little bit different, but in Pakistan, Pakistanis may not love our government all the time, but they love the United States. If they had an opportunity to move their family over, they'd be on the next plane. So at least the mainstream Pakistanis. So this is a country that we can work with, and we have to work with. They have sections of their country that are still very tribal, very isolated, and that's where bin Laden's running around in there. And the Pakistanis have always had trouble working in those parts of the country. When Pakistan was created, that part of the world, they didn't even want to be part of Pakistan. They didn't want to be part of India. They wanted to be left alone. And they sort of cut this deal with their autonomous region. And that's really the wild, wild west out there. And we're just going to have to slog it out there. That problem's not going to go away. And we're just going to have to work with the Pakistanis, and they're not the best of allies all the time, not the best of friends. They're not, this isn't UK where we're really in lockstep. And same thing with the Saudis. We're just going to have to work with them.
And you said the mountains. I didn't know this. Because we're thinking, all right, just get them. From Maine to where? You said
it's like the Appalachian Trail, yeah. You're talking about thousands of miles.
You can't just bomb the entire mountain range,
That's what you think. Just bomb the fucking place. But
it's huge. Imagine the Redcoats trying to find Daniel Boone in those mountains. They're not going to find him. Hey, you're going to make a monkey out of them. So it's same thing in those mountains up there. You are not going to trudge soldiers in their redcoats through the mountains of Afghanistan and find bin Laden. You've got to use intelligence. You've got to be smart about it. You've got to penetrate his organization. But I always use the point, remember after 9/11, this young kid, Johnny Walker Lynn, got arrested in Afghanistan, brought back to the U.S. and tried. Here's a kid, a 19-year-old kid from Virginia, who joins Al Qaeda, and he gets to meet bin Laden twice before 9/11. And someone asked me once, I was giving a speech, they said to me, "Hey, if Johnny Walker Lynn was able to join Al Qaeda and meet with bin Laden, why couldn't the CIA do it?" And I said, "That's a damn good question, and keep asking that question, because they should have been able to."
That's amazing.
So they're not. This is not an organization that's geniuses. You know, they've made a lot of mistakes.
Who do you think was responsible for the decimation of our intelligence in this country? Because obviously during the Cold War, we were at the top of our game, and then was it just a changing world environment?
Yes.
But how did we lose so much of our strength as far as intelligence goes?
What happened was they made mistakes, the CIA and the FBI. They were spying on college kids that were protesting the Vietnam War. They were spying on Martin Luther King. And so there was some investigations. You remember in late 1970s, Senator Church started the Church Committee. And they did investigations on abuses of the CIA and FBI that were using against domestic intelligence. And then every once in a while there was this scandal of some assassination attempt that went bad overseas or something, or a coup or whatever. And what happened was these agencies, the CIA, the FBI, the NSA, all these super secret agencies, they got pummeled politically and bureaucratically. And what happened over time, they became toothless giants that just had no edge, no creativity. They're just boring bureaucracies that go to meetings and they just don't get it. And after 9/11, they got shook up and they got edge again, and people got fired up. And that's what beat Al Qaeda. It was just focus and creativity and edge, not billions of dollars. We had the assets there. Just turn them on.
It amazed me that they had to actually advertise, like, hey, is there anyone that speaks Farsi?
Yeah.
Like, before 9/11.
It's still a problem, actually. Here's the problem with the language speakers that we've solved at NYPD. We still, at the CIA and FBI, they have problems hiring a language speaker, because if a guy speaks fluent Farsi, well, it probably means his parents are Iranian. So he can't get a security clearance. Well, come on, guys. At NYPD, we had all these cops that speak all the languages of New York City. That's what's great about New York City. We have 50% of the city is foreign-born. So we have all these great language speakers, and we utilize them. But, of course, we didn't bring them into the top-secret operations we were running. You leave them on the edge of that, but you use their capability to help you understand the communities you're looking at. And I think we did that very well at NYPD. And again, we didn't have to spend tens of billions of dollars to do it. You do it with the resources you have at hand, and you make decisions.
Is there something called the Hercules team?
Yes, Hercules is an NYPD program that sends out uniformed armed guys in uniform. It's sort of a show of force. That's called Hercules teams. It's a policing technique.
Is it more just a show force and intimidation?
That's right, to kind of show the terrorists that we're still out here, and also they use it to.
Those are the guys that are just look like video game characters.
They're like pretty good guys,
from
big,
head to
bulky
toe.
guys warmed up with long barrel weapons, and it's really send a signal to any would-be terrorists. We're out here,
and they're specially trained.
Oh yeah, they're very good, very good, and they also are talking to the people. If you see something, say something, give us a call. They're talking to the security guys at the main buildings. We're here.
It does make you feel safer when you see them
it's
here and there.
It's an
coming
important,
out of a subway or something.
It's a safe thing, but it kind of makes you go, wow, we've kind of come a long way.
Yeah. And by the way, by itself, that's not going to protect us. Whenever I tell people when I talk about Hercules, I say, you've got a Hercules unit there that you see. What's really protecting this city is what you don't see. And that's what's really getting it done. Hercules is a nice augmentation to that. But what really protects us, you don't see.
Mike, what don't we see?
I can't get into that.
I know you can't, but is it impressive? Would we be like, wow?
Yeah, it really is really good.
I would love to
A lot of the technology that's out there now is really amazing. Surveillance technology that's being utilized.
Man.
Yeah. And I hear that. It just disgusts me too. No, I like the surveillance equipment that's around. I like the fact that, you walk around the city, 90% of the time you're on camera. Probably more than that. And I think as far as crime goes, it's helped out a lot. It's solved a lot. It might have been a deterrent also. And as far as terrorism goes, boy, we sure got a good look at the people in London.
And that rolled up the cells and same thing in Madrid. They got video of them, and it's.
Do you guys use Google Earth?
I use it, absolutely. Absolutely.
Gotta
So
find
do
a
the
deli.
bad guys, unfortunately. But
This book is called Crush the Cell. I mean, it's obviously you really know what you're doing. And his name is Michael Sheehan, Sheehan. And Mike Cole, one of our guys, he's a cop here in New York, and he said that you are just the guy who knows more about this than anybody. So I'm looking at your resume. I'm like, all right, well, what? It's very impressive. I mean, a real resume. It's like
Doesn't it make you feel crappy about what you've done in your life?
I should wear a dress when I talk to him.
You mean it's not a list of radio stations you worked at?
It's like a New York City Deputy Commissioner of Counterterrorism. I mean, these are real posts, and the one they just sneak it at the end is really interesting. And commander of a counterterrorism hostage rescue unit in the U.S. Army Special Forces.
Wow.
Which, now, are you the guys that they would call, like, if Cesar Cowley had somebody and they knew where it was, would you have to try to negotiate with these people? Is that what you did?
well, first of all, I was not in Delta Force. Delta Force is like the major leagues for counterterrorism. And I was in the minor leagues. I was in Panama, and we were sort of the backup to Delta. But it was a hostage rescue unit created during the Iran-Contra crisis. And remember when Delta went into the desert and had those problems with their helicopters and the whole thing turned south? Yeah. That was in 1980. At that time, I was in Panama training to do hostage rescue operations in Colombia and other parts of the world. And we did some interesting things during that period. So I would say, to use a sports analogy, I was a minor league ball player in the counterterrorism business as a shooter. But we were pretty proud of ourselves. We knew how to kick in the doors, pick out the targets, and take them out.
And you did something for the United Nations, too. It said you were Assistant Secretary General of the Department of Peacekeeping Operations at the UN. It seems like with a lot of these operations, the UN, they send them in the blue helmets, and they're just observers, and they really don't give them any ability to do anything. Is that because the UN is poorly run, or?
Well, the UN has a mixed record. Sometimes when they're successful, you don't hear about it. I remember when I was in Eastern Congo once, and we showed up with a platoon of Moroccans, and they weren't the greatest soldiers on the planet. But when they showed up to this town, I think it was called Bunia, one of these towns in Eastern Congo, about 50,000 people over the next week came out of the bush that were eating bark and worms out there, and they're starving to death. And just the fact that a platoon was there, they had the confidence to come in, and then the relief agency started to feed them. And that's a story you don't hear about. Right. You do hear about when they get humiliated by some thugs that take away their weapons and make jerks of them. And so they have a spotty record. And if you know, for every 5 things they do well, they get humiliated and look like asses, and that's unfortunate. But they are what they are. The UN is the countries of the world, as good and as bad as they are. And sometimes we do well, and sometimes not so well.
I'm with Jimmy. You got a very impressive resume, but I want to see how good you really are. My pal Anthony was going 95 and a 55.
Yeah. Could you get me out of a ticket?
We'll say a few books, but he's in a tough spot right now. 40 miles over the speed limit. Let's see how good you really are.
Yeah, it was a bad one.
Well, we can work on that one. As long as you aren't DWI, you know. Then anything can be done.
That was a good boy. So actually, Mike Cole sent a little thing. He said, go easy on him. He's a friend.
Oh, yeah, we know that.
Well, me and Cole are Met fans together, and we suffer through the ups and downs of that.
No, I think
he's a great cop. He's one of those cops that you just love. You know, these are tough guys that are smart. They're respectful. They're not going to abuse
Mike Cole?
people.
I'm kidding, of course.
But they're going to put handcuffs on the bad
TMZ
guys,
Mike?
and they're going to protect the good guys in the city.
kid?
And that's what they do.
Mike has thick. This was the problem. Mike probably punches really hard because Mike has like fat hands, and Mike probably really packs quite a wallop because he doesn't look that intimidating, but he's just a squat little powerful.
Mike's like
bastard.
Mike also is terrible with me. He comes in one day and he shows me a nice new HK 40 cal.
He's a gun buff.
And yeah, I know. So he goes, look at this one. The next day I'm down at the gun store buying one because I needed that one.
Just
after
don't
he showed
take it
me
on an
that.
airplane.
Oh, Dennis Farina.
Load it on airplane.
Hey, I made a mistake.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem for him.
Not a good idea.
And he's gotten me insane about 5'11". I wear 511 stuff all the time now. Everyone laughs at me. I love their pants. The shirts are great.
Well, we got to go out to a range sometime and have some fun.
I absolutely want to do that
with this guy.
Well, yeah, it would be a lot of fun to be humiliated.
He got his speeding ticket on 511, by the way. I'm like, look, the sign was on your head the whole time. You were wearing the hat.
I don't like the fact that Anthony is trying to bond with Mike Sheen.
I'm trying to bond. We're men together with guns
no, he's the real deal.
and tactical clothing.
You're running around in the yard like the kid at the beginning of Born on the 4th of July with a stick.
Yeah.
You smart ass.
So, Mike, how safe are we in New York City right now?
At the end of my book, I say, if I feel we're unsafe in New York City, I'm packing up and leaving. I'm not going to make a martyr of my family. I have a wife and a 5-year-old boy here. We're safe in this city, and they're out there.
I'm going to get your email address. Let me know when that changes, because I live in New York.
I'll go to Montana and get a shack
the
out
second
there.
he leaves, I'm out of here. We're going to become email pals.
No, we're safe.
I don't think you answered the question. The next terrorist attack, in your humble opinion, is it going to be a subway? Is it going to be one of these suicide bombers?
I think
a bus? What are you thinking?
If I had to bet, it would be a subway or a building, and that's what
another
they do.
building.
Yeah, a car bomb.
But we got the guys. We have to show ID going in and out of these buildings. We're safe, right?
Blow it up at the curb line.
It's so funny because terrorists use their real names. Like Mohammed Atta used his real name. They all use their names. It's like it doesn't help to have someone show ID.
Yeah.
Unless you do some kind of a retina scan and have that, it's amazing. Like, civil liberties, we certainly need them, but I don't see us losing civil liberties by cameras being up in New York. I think the civil libertarians take anything the government wants to do and they make it look like they're walking into your house and making sure you're having sex properly. It's ridiculous where they go with
having a national ID card would go a long way for the operations that I've been involved with, just so you know who's who and who isn't. And for some reason, both the right and the left wing are scared of a national ID card. And I say, you already have one. It's called your driver's license, your credit card. Yet somehow, if we talk about a national ID card, people think it's Big Brother taking over our lives, which is just nonsense.
Has either way, the far left or the far right, I know you said you were in the middle, has either one of them really hindered what is trying to be done that's effective?
Yeah, I think so. I think the far left gets too squeamish about civil liberties and is pushing back on the wiretapping and the investigations, and I worry about that. The far right sometimes gets us off into tangents and wastes a lot of money and gets us off track. And so I think both of them can harm the effort. It's really not that hard. You just have to stick with what it's really about, which is these intelligence operations. I always tell people, think about it penetrating the mafia. If you just arrest the guy who's stealing the stereo off the back of a truck, you try to do that all the time, you're not going to get the organization. You've got to penetrate it up. If you just arrest the pot seller in Harlem, you're not going to break down a drug trafficking organization. You got to get up into it, and that's what it's all about. And that requires those types of intelligence operations. And the left is worried about civil liberties. The right, they want to go off and spend billions and send thousands of troops into wars. I think neither of those are really productive.
Isn't it odd how they leave the word Islam out of? It's almost like it's amazing how frightened people are of acknowledging that this is a problem with radical Islam when they say this is why they're doing it. They associate themselves with Islam, and you never ever hear that from the government because they don't want it to be misconceived as a war on Islam.
And I understand that too. A lot of our friends overseas, our Islamic friends, are saying these people call themselves Muslims, but they're not. They're killers and they're cowards and they're hijacking our religion. So they ask us, don't call these guys Islamists, even though they say they are, because they don't have anything to do with our faith. They're killers that have hijacked it for their own purpose.
But isn't there a silent agreement, if not with the method, but the end justifies the means? Isn't there some kind of a silent agreement? And I'm not saying all Muslims. People say I'm anti-Muslim. I'm really not. But I'm just saying, like, you don't see these countries, unless it's a military dictator like Musharraf, crushing.
No, that's right. That's right. And here's why. In many of these countries, they're struggling. They don't have good systems of governments. They don't have good economies of the poorer ones. And so there's resentment among the population. And they resent not only their own leaders, which are corrupt and ineffective, but they always resent, who's the most powerful guys on the block? As the Americans, they must be responsible for my misery, for my social misery, for my psychic misery, and for my economic misery. And so they blame us. And so if we get kicked in the shins, some guy holding a Muslim banner, there's some slight satisfaction in it. So even on 9/11, although most people in the Islamic world were horrified by that, there were some, and you saw some of them cheering in the streets, and others saying, well, the big guy got a kick in the knee. And you know what? We're bigger than that. We can get over that, and we don't have to resent people that resent us, because we're so big and so strong. And that is going to be the way it's going to be for our country for the decades ahead, that people always have a little resentment toward us.
I got to go back, because you just casually said that, but most people in Islamic countries were horrified by what happened on 9/11, because I think the average American would be surprised by that that comment. Because what you see on TV is that's all they show is the people in the street, like, woo, burning flags.
But you never hear of the outrage. It would be nice to hear a little condemnation of terrorist acts from Muslims.
There's always an asterisk. Well, the U.S. foreign policy, there's always that you're asking for an asterisk they put
Why
in.
not just, hey, we're completely outraged and disgusted by what people are doing in the name of our religion. You never really...
They need more of it, and reason why they're more of it, because actually, and I tell my Muslim friends is, you're more threatened by these guys than us.
Right.
Al-Qaeda is not going to take down the U.S., but some of these countries could be threatened by this movement, by these organizations. They could topple their governments and be in charge. So I said, you really need to stand up and put these guys down, because you're much more threatened than us. They may kill a few Americans, but we're going to be still a great and powerful country. You guys better get
have a rougher time at the soccer field than you did before they took over.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think that...
horrible people. Jesus, that was Taliban.
Right.
God. Not many soccer games going on over there.
No.
They would just take people there and saw their heads off.
Right.
It was like, all right, here we go, halftime.
Blood-soaked midfield.
Yeah.
The Soviet Union, do you think that the world attitude towards the U.S., because we were always seen as a counterbalance to the Russians, the good guys and they were the bad guys, and it just seems like shitty Europe has gotten some real bad attitudes about the U.S. ever since the threat of the Russians kicking in their front doors has gone away. And now that they have that little man thing where they have this resentment against us, and it's kind of aggravating.
It is. I mean, the Europeans really irritate me often. And what they do is they kind of triangulate themselves and sort of put themselves in a better position. Okay, they say to the rest of the world, yeah, those crazy Americans are they'll do the dirty work in the world, and we'll kind of be friends with everybody. And they play off the U.S. against everybody else and put themselves in a better position. It is very irritating. They do that with the Iranians. They know the American power is going to be the check on Iranian nonsense, whether it's nuclear or terrorism, whatever, and they kind of play footsie with them. And we are the ones that have the sanctions against them, all the pressure, and the Europeans
will do business with them.
Exactly, and because they know at the end of the day we're gonna step up. And so we wind up, in my view, doing a lot more of the protection work in the world, and sometimes we can be saps for that.
It doesn't take Europe long after a crisis or war or something to just turn around and go, oh, yeah, forget what you did. Yeah, for years we kept Russia from just running over them.
They laid down for whoever knocked on the door. Exactly. They opened the door and laid down for them.
No, and they see themselves as more savvy and sophisticated than the dumb Americans that are kind of stumbling around, and it's really irritating.
Is Iran afraid of us? I mean, I kind of think that we don't negotiate with certain people or talk to certain people. Sometimes I think you kind of have to, even if they're pricks. But is he really worried? Because he talks a big game about wiping Israel off the map, and is he as crazy?
No, they're not. The Iranians are not crazy. This regime has been around since '79. Remember when they kicked out the Shah and the Ayatollahs came in? So it's been going on 30 years, and they're very sane. And they know how to whip up their constituency with anti-Israeli rhetoric, with anti-American rhetoric. It kind of strengthens their own base at home. So a lot of that rhetoric is for the home base, and they know where they can push and where they can't. And so they're very sane, and I think in dealing with Iran or Hezbollah, that set of problems, don't allow their rhetoric to push ourselves into self-defeating positions.
Was it like when Kim Jong-il was kind of mentioning attacking California? It's just kind of shit-talking, pretty much. Right?
Yeah, it's pretty silly.
I actually went and visited him when I was in the State Department. I was ambassador for counterterrorism in the State Department. I went over and visited that nut job. And,
how short is he? Is he a little fella?
He was about 4'11" with the 5-inch heels.
Oh, he stinks.
No kidding.
And he had really bad hair and a really bad outfit, and this kind of. He was a skinny fat guy, if you know what I mean. His arms were like noodles, yet he had this kind of bulging belly. It was really disgusting.
Please tell me you pointed that out to him. Nice outfit. Squirt.
Oh, God.
Mike, what do you do now when you're not writing? Well, this is your first book, Crush to Sell.
Right now I'm doing a little consulting. I have a consultancy group here. I got a couple of clients in New York City trying to keep the city safe without making it into an armed camp. And I'm doing a little work overseas as well and trying to make a living.
Do you miss getting your hands dirty, though?
Oh, yeah. No, I've spent
now that you got a 5-year-old boy, I'm thinking the wife might be like, Mike, you know.
Well, I gotta
you can't be running around in the jungles anymore.
No, exactly. I miss it. My best years when I was in the Special Forces, when I was in Panama, that was when I was 25 years old. It's great. And,
full of piss and vinegar, all
exactly.
ready to go out on that next mission.
Now I'm kind of, sitting around and writing a book. It's not the same as kicking indoors and climbing uphill. I was on a climbing team, and we got to climb up through elevator shafts, and I just had a great time every day.
You'd never guess that. To look,
I'm a scrawny guy. Right?
You look like an administrator. He's a nice-looking gentleman with a suit jacket, very distinguished-looking fellow.
Rip your throat out right now.
I know, it's kind of frightening. He probably likes to bite faces.
Actually, my team sergeant when I was in Panama, his name was Dirty Joe Walker, and I can't get into why he was nicknamed Dirty Joe.
We can imagine there.
Dirty Joe,
humor.
Dirty Joe always said, if you have to use your hands to kill somebody, you've really made a mistake. Because he believed in the 45 caliber pistol method of he said,
that's so true.
Never get yourself in a kung fu.
You fucked up somewhere.
Exactly.
The beauty of Mike, we play video games. He lives video games, or used to anyway.
Wow.
Joe said, never get in a kung fu fight. The guy should be dead before he gets close to you.
That is funny though that you're quoting Dirty Joe, who's like, look, if you can't shoot him, something has happened that shouldn't have happened.
Exactly.
I guess you're right.
Love Dirty Joe.
Dirty Joe rules.
I imagine no one breaks into your home, huh?
Well, we're the safe city,
He's probably hoping, though.
Yeah,
for old time's sake, he wants to do some just damage.
I need Mike Cole around.
They always goof on me about my fear of home invasions out on Long Island because I live out there.
Tell him how you walk around. Here's a man's man. Tell him how you walk around the house.
I'm gonna preface it by telling a little bit about I'm from Long Island. It's the home invasion capital of the world, I think. I understand the reality of the situation, but I do present a good target, I think. I have a regular schedule, which I would like to break up a little, but because of my job, it's hard to do that. So there's certain rituals that I do that kind of mark me a little bit. I like to carry a weapon on me when I'm home.
See, he's laughing at you. Yeah, I saw the laugh.
I like, and people are like, no, I'm not sitting there with a Wild West low slung 6-shooter on my hip, but I like having something on me so that if a problem presents itself and I am being invaded, my home is being broken into.
Don't look at me. I'm not helping you out.
I won't have to be the guy going, I wish I could get to my drawer, or I wish I could get to the safe, or I wish I could get to this. I am ready. I'm prepared.
And he has an alarm system, by the way.
You could probably put it in your drawer.
Damn it!
and the cop pretty much lives with him at this point.
So doesn't live with me. He's
much.
helping me out with.
He carries a gun in his house. He thinks it's comfortable. He tells himself this is actually comfortable.
It's a little Walther PPKS.
I knew a guy in the Congo in the UN who was a victim of a home invasion, and they came in with AKs, and they took. They spent 3 hours emptying out his house, and they even took all the clothes out of his closet, and then they said take the clothes off that he was wearing, and they took him and left him standing there naked, and after they got the truck loaded up and left, and they just drove away. And there he was, naked with
nothing.
His house was empty.
No
clothes. He's naked.
Oh, that won't be me.
No. You'll have your 9mm.
I'll have a 380 or my 9 or something.
They'll tell you to be quiet. You're going to reach for the gun on your underpants, and they'll just machine gun you, lunatic.
Philly,
not the Congo. So
Philly Tyrant from Philly, backing up a little bit. He writes, do you miss getting your hands dirty? Translation, do you miss the feel of your enemy's blood squishing between your toes? Hello.
Oh, God.
So you were involved in, I know, I feel like a little kid just asking questions. This is so cool. It said you were involved, something with the White House, too. This is like a paragraph-long resume with a lot of big words in it. What did you do? Ambassador at Large for Counterterrorism at the State Department, and there was something in the White House.
When I was a major in the Army, I was in Defense Intelligence Agency, and it was really boring. I was sitting there writing, again, one of those bureaucrats writing memos to each other and going to meetings, and it was really boring. So I got involved in the counter-narcotics intelligence, and from there I wound up at the White House as a major on the NSC staff, National Security Council staff. And that was sort of my big break. From there I kind of went up into the State Department, and my career went from the jungles and the mountains into the corridors of Washington, and that was fun. But I was sure happy to get back to New York City and kind of get back on the street a little bit.
Do you have, because police officers have cards and stuff they give out, like a PBA card. I imagine his is pretty good for getting out of a ticket.
Yeah.
Not that you'd want to hand them out at the end, but if you happen to, it would be
it can help. It helps to have those cards sometimes.
Yeah.
As long as you're not Dewey, then you're in trouble.
No.
But if you're just doing 95 and a 55.
Well, yeah.
That's probably the worst thing you could do is Dewey and hand over a PBA card. It's like, what cop gave this drunk this card? You know?
Well, you're the real deal. I mean, you really know what you're talking. Mike Cole raved about you. Crush the Cell.
Yeah.
Cause I was like perusing. It's not some boring, like just long. There's like a whole bunch of little, little paragraph headings and stuff like that. It's very. You could just open any page. And it looks like something interesting to read, which is really great.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a bunch of different little subheadings, which I love. Not that when I look at a book, this is how shallow I am. I'm always like, can I enjoy it on the toilet? Because that's where I do a tremendous amount of my reading. And it's like, this is something, you don't have to start from beginning to end. You can, but you can just open it and read little paragraphs. Very interesting, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, working on another?
I might. The second one might be on counterinsurgency, as I used to do that when I was in the Special Forces. And again, I think common sense approach to how to win insurgencies like in Iraq or Afghanistan. And
that seems like a real tough nut to crack.
It's a tough one, so that one's kind of stumbling around with it now. It's hard to write.
I don't doubt it.
Is al-Zawahiri the real brains behind the operation? Because I always thought bin Laden was more of a rich. I mean, he's a fighter, but he seems like the real radical, the Egyptian. He seems like the real.
They complement each other. Bin Laden has a certain charisma about him. He's a rich guy, and he has a certain calmness, and he don't underestimate him though. And he also built the organization. But Zawahiri, the number two, he brought in. He came from an Egyptian terrorist organization.
Like Martin and Lewis, I think.
Yeah, he brought in the real Egyptian fighters to help give Al-Qaeda some real substance. So bin Laden is sort of the ideological leader, and Zawahiri also ideological, but also brought Egyptian experienced terrorists into the organization.
The Opie and Anthony show.
How about that?
We pretty much did.
Who's who?
The way they get the tapes, they get these tapes to the reporters too. I forget how they did that. Where one gets dropped off, it's like done by courier, but
dead drops. Yeah, they just do a dead drop. It's picked up, and they use cutouts so they.
It's an interesting thing though that it did get from point A to point B. So there's got to be a way to backtrack that.
What do you mean?
At some point,
they've done some of that.
Yeah.
What's a cutout? What's a cutout?
A cutout is where you drop information to a third party who doesn't know the other two. So if he gets captured, he only knows half of it. So you can't unravel the whole line. So a cutout is there's a chain of connections in an organization. Cutouts break that chain because they don't know both sides.
Well, and they'll drop it somewhere and then tell them after where it is.
And so they don't know where it came from.
And probably doesn't know what it is.
Right, exactly. So if they get caught, I don't know. I just got the phone call to pick it up here. So you're not going to get unraveled.
Wow.
How can they not do backtracking on web stuff? I mean, I understand these guys probably use proxy servers, but it's like, how could they not get them when they're uploading all this information?
We've had some successes in that area, but again, it's a very sensitive.
I ask a lot of but I like me because I ask all the sensitive.
We don't want to give away the good stuff.
What's that? It's not like bin Laden showing up on Pal Talk.
They actually,
there he is.
Terrorists do use telephones, chat, email chat. They're in chat rooms. They're on the internet, and they know that the intelligence agencies are in there looking at them. They know that, and that's not a secret I'm giving away.
Sure.
That we use that. The problem for them is it's really hard to operate in a global organization like Al-Qaeda tries to be with no communications. So they're tempted. They always think they got a way to beat us. And
they got to break the code. Yeah, we learned that from The Wire, right, Jimmy? Yes. You got to break the code.
But I bet you bin Laden has the most simple, it's probably OBL at Hotmail.
Yeah.
Some stupid
try
email
it.
address.
Yeah, maybe give that one a whirl.
Yeah, sure.
What's in there? fantastic,
And his
man.
password is 91101. You know, it's really hard to break.
Well, they knew. The funny thing is about that. The interesting thing about them doing it on 9/11, it was because I heard that the operation was called Porsche 9/11 because they knew the date they were going to do it on, which is pretty ballsy considering the amount of things that could have gone wrong with weather. With like to say this is when it's going through.
Well, that's why the luck factor was in there too.
They everything came together for them except that last plane.
Were there any that didn't get off the ground that maybe obviously we don't know about? Because there was all these rumors that there was another one that didn't get off.
I don't think so. I think they got it all.
pretty much.
So there were no like box cutters found in planes after.
No.
That was all just crap after.
That's right.
Well, I think after it was done, so much. Like everything I've read, they pretty much know exactly who, where, the money trail,
they've got it.
Everything. You know, unfortunately, it's all hindsight.
Big point of the conspiracy theorists too, and again, they're nonsense. But they found the weird things that happen sometimes in these cases look like conspiracy. But I mean, finding Muhammad Atta's passport on the ground. You know, it's a weird thing. Although if they were going to frame him, they probably would have made it a little bit less weird.
Yeah.
Than his passport
Weird
blowing up in the Trade Center.
And one of the great conspiracies is that the CIA or somebody put explosives in the towers.
I know. Yeah. That cracks me
and
up,
they
that
show
one.
the footage of this stuff coming out. Of course, that's just the pressure pushing stuff
Yeah.
out. And that's proof that the CIA blew up the tower.
When people bring that up, I always bring up the fact that I've seen a lot of shows on Discovery on building demolition. Seen what it takes to prepare a building to be demolished. You can't have office workers in there going in every day and prepare a building with explosives and like people don't even know they use like come-alongs and springs and stuff and things to bring it in on itself.
That's way too involved. That theory you just explained, Jesse Ventura was on our show and he's starting to believe that stuff.
Jesse Ventura's a nut.
Jesse is an ass. He's an ass.
We had an amazing time with him. It got a little ugly, to be honest with you.
Because he was, you know what it was? He's saying like, you know, okay, I'm a Navy SEAL. I don't know any better. And then he's talking about how he was down on Ground Zero. And I wish I had remembered at the time, hey, dummy, it took you 6 years to come up with this theory. Like, if you were at Ground Zero, why didn't you notice as you were waltzing through the wreckage? Stupid. You're at a website. I talk a lot of shit when he's not here, by the way.
Yeah, no. I got to stick up for Jimmy. He talks shit right in front of Jesse.
No, but I mean, I didn't catch that point. I missed that point,
You didn't let him freaking go on anything.
No, but I would have killed him at that point.
He seems to have gone off the deep end. I remember when he was governor, he was pretty interesting, but now he seems to have kind of...
Yeah, he's kind of taken off.
Yeah,
that happens when you get, you know.
Well, let's thank our guests and let Michael Sheehan go. The book is called Crush the Cell. Let me read this part too. How to defeat terrorism without terrorizing ourselves. That's kind of important right there, right?
Yeah, and it looks like a really, really interesting read. And just flipping through it, it's obviously the guy knows everything about terrorism. And this is one I'm actually going to read. We get a lot of books we say we're going to read. But I like the fact it's not the typical. This sounds, because first of all, you're very soft-spoken and quiet, which means that he really has horrible things in his head. Because he's too much of a diplomat. Like, well, my Muslim friends, like, you know that he understands everything about the tree. Because I'm such a reactionary idiot. Get him! You know, I don't know what I'm talking about. So this is one I'm really going to read.
I wouldn't want him to be my father.
Why?
I don't know.
You think you'd figure out everything you're trying to do wrong?
Yeah, probably. That's why, right?
How you going to fool him?
Yeah, exactly.
Stuck around in a bush for 8 years.
I thought chewing gum prevented my dad from knowing that I was drinking at 15. Can you imagine what this guy comes up with?
Well, Michael Sheehan, are you doing any signings or you don't have any schedule at this point?
I do. On Wednesday, I'm doing a speech at the Manhattan Institute, and I'll probably do some signings, and maybe I'll probably do a Barnes & Noble or something one of these days.
All right, well, let us know, because we'll plug it, because this book looks really, really good.
Oh,
man.
I appreciate it.
Thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for your time. I enjoyed it.
It was a pleasure. Michael Sheehan,
absolutely.
Everyone. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll continue. Stay there.
There will always be retarded idiots to entertain us with their stupidity.
Mindless, crotch-grabbing Anthony. Mindless, crotch-grabbing Anthony. People grabbing their crotches and saying, suck it. The Opie and Anthony Show. Suck it.
Love the show.
Mindless.
Opie and Anthony.
And we're back. Just going to throw
Well,
it.
Anthony, if that doesn't get you out of your speeding ticket, I don't know what else to do for you, my friend.
You think he'll help me out?
Got one of the top guys on the show. That speeding ticket should go away now. That 95 and a 55 is...
just go have it
Just go away.
That should be done at this point.
He was a great guest, man.
Absolutely.
Really, really interesting guy.
Anthony got a email from Keith, the cop there. What was that about?
Keith says, boy, I felt good about doing your laundry until Commissioner Sheehan came in. What am I doing with my career? There's a guy writing books about doing probably awful things in the Congo and Panama.
Yeah.
Anti-terrorism. And, Keith, make sure you match my socks up.
No, he's making sure you don't have racing stripes in your underwear after the laundry's done.
Never.
I bet you Keith right now is laughing as he's biting through your shirt.
Yeah.
I bet you Keith spends a lot of time like crying alone, like when no one's home, the wife and the kids are out, and he's like biting a piece of cloth and just weeping while rocking back and forth. He's a psychopath on some level.
The book, once again, Crush the Cell, How to Defeat Terrorism Without Terrorizing Ourselves, Michael A. Sheehan. Ta-da. Hey, Travis just ran this in. A quickie before we get to line of the day. What's going on with your tuna fish?
I'm horrified watching Jimmy try to open a can of tuna. You're trying to open this can. It looks like a chimpanzee trying to get into something.
It'd be easier for me to eat Ellen's pussy than it is for me to fucking eat this tuna.
It'd probably smell the same.
What happened, Jimmy?
I can't open
He can't use a can opener.
I can't use a fucking can opener. Oh, here we go. Ooh, ginger.
Ooh. Watch yourself.
I am. I'm going to cut myself.
Now it's only
and then
half
what do you
open.
do?
Why couldn't you get the whole thing open?
Because I'm fucking a bag of shit with teeth. Why? Why a lot of things? Why can't I function sexually if there's love in the room?
There you go.
People seem to have enjoyed the interview. Thanks for the props, peeps.
That goodness out.
Thanks
now.
for the props on instant feedback and on the phones and on Pal Talk. So, hey, things that are younger than John McCain. This just came in from Travis. There's a website called thingsyoungerthanmccain.com.
Wow. Of course there is.
John McCain, for a reference point, was born August 29th, 1936. So he's going to be, 72?
72 years ago.
Oh, my Lord. Well, here's some of the things that are younger than John McCain. The first one, Obama's father is younger than John McCain.
Right.
Not Obama, Obama's father. Chocolate chip cookies are younger than John McCain.
Which was also Obama's father's nickname.
Right.
That was 1937 when we invented that goodness called the chocolate chip cookie.
Well.
What'd they eat before then?
Yeah.
How'd you get kids in the car?
Well, before that it was Spam. They ate Spam, Jimmy. Spam is also younger than John McCain.
Wow.
Teflon is younger than John McCain.
I would have thought that anyway, but I didn't think Teflon was that old.
It goes back to 1938. Bugs Bunny is younger than John McCain.
But he did grow up with him, though, because Bugs came when McCain was 2. So McCain grew up on Bugs like the
Watching
rest of
little
us.
Bugs Bunny.
All right.
He sure did, with his arms
Thinking
way
about
above
those
his head.
happy moments when
All right, this one's going to
get his
freak.
ass beat in.
The next one's going to freak everyone out.
Uh-huh.
Earl, also known as Oil, is younger than John McCain.
Oil?
Discovered by the Saudis in 1938. I did not know that.
Really?
Well, the discovery of oil. Let's be honest. Oil was there before he was.
Well, yes.
A little bit.
The discovery of oil.
What,
You're right.
The La Brea tar pits.
Well, now, wait a minute. What were we using to fucking lubricate engines?
Piss and shit.
Because, hold on. There are cars and planes before 1938.
Yeah, but I think that
and
point,
tanks and fucking machinery. What is that? What the fuck are you talking about?
we were just putting dinosaurs in
diesel.
blenders and stuff. Nothing.
Oil's oil.
All right.
Diesel's refined from oil.
No, that was not.
It's like gasoline. What? Where the fuck? I disagree with that.
Thannikins?
I'm seeing that there's the discovery of oil in Qatar around that time, but I'm pretty sure you're right that we had oil.
Yeah, I'm sure we had oil before 1938. Maybe Saudi oil?
I don't know. Well, look, it's just a dumb little list to kill a few minutes.
I
we
want
just
it
go
to
with
be
it.
factual.
Oh, boy.
My new bit, which is called Turn Off the Instant Feedback screen. Today's reason is Muffy McScroat from Whackbag. Yeah, I'm sure you're on Whackbag. He writes Z's, lots of Z's, and then he writes, and see, you weren't listening yesterday when we told you how to do this the right way.
He's off.
He writes From terrorism douche to more Keith the Top stories. Time to switch to Howie. Z. Oh, wait. Then he did a smiley face with a little blinky eye.
He's still a douche.
Oh, that's a winky.
He's winking at
That
you.
means, that means take whatever you just read and reverse it.
You know what? He confused me. Off of the screen. How do we turn this off?
Here, I got it.
And I
should
think
be off at fucking 8. At 6:05, that should go off.
I think he's a fan. All right.
Oil was first used in 1823.
No.
The discovery of commercial
Saudi
quantities
oil?
of oil. Yeah.
But like, where did Germany get to build its huge war machine?
They weren't commercial; they were government.
In 1938. By 38, they already had a lot of hardware
Enough
built.
about the oil.
Look, the answer the answer is very simple. Travis typed this out wrong. He got fucking lazy.
He's a girl.
It's basically because when we all think oil, we think the Saudis for the most part in this day and age.
Yeah.
So basically, what he should have said, the Saudis
Saudi oil
found their oil in 1938. That's what I'm thinking.
That's what it says on the website. ThingsYoungerThanMcCain.com.
All right, don't yell at us.
They went for the funny, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's say hi to John and Queen. Oh, no. All right, nope.
No. Fuck John and Queen's up his ass.
I want to read feedback. I don't want to look at, like, meters going up and down. Watch. Roar. Roar.
Do you really want it?
Wait. Go silent. Watch what happens, and then you talk.
The meters go up.
Don't talk yet!
I'm trying to tell the
I
audience.
want to get the
They
meters
can't
all the way
see it.
down to here.
As the meter goes
The
up.
audience can't see the meters.
No, but we want the
Yeah.
meters to drop.
The
all
meters
way.
right now.
All right.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Let the
Here we
meters
go.
drop, and then we get them to go back up again.
Okay.
Okay, let's watch him go down then.
Hey, no, we almost went down at the bottom.
Watching the meters drop, that's good radio.
Come on, we were almost there. We were at minus 25, whatever that means. All right, here we go.
Means minus. Okay.
That's your can opener. All right, one more try. They're dropping. Oh, now they're not because I said they're dropping.
Yeah. Now they are.
All right, things younger than John McCain. Plutonium. Mickey D's is younger than John McCain.
McDonald's?
1940. Dick Cheney is young. Wow, Dick Cheney's younger than John McCain?
Look at that.
By 5 years. All right, this freaks me out. You can't have a president that's older than Mount Rushmore.
Wow.
You can't have a president that is older than Mount Rushmore.
Was 1941?
1931.
Sure.
That's probably when it was completed, my friend. It took a little,
Yeah.
long time. They couldn't call it anything because it just looked like a bunch of shit.
It was just
and then finally
Mount.
in 1941, they
Was
went,
it?
Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
They actually did call it Big Glop of Shit for many years. And the tourism department hated that.
Glop of shit.
No one's going to want to see Big Glop of Shit. Yes, they will.
Obama's mother is younger than McCain.
Obama mom.
We're almost done. The Slinky, younger. AARP. Israel is younger than John McCain. Wow.
Yeah.
Scientology is younger than John McCain.
He's older than a snack food, a religion, a fucking country.
Yeah, you can't be older than a religion if you want to be the president of the United States of America.
The motherfucker's older than the cookie. Boys and girls for many years would just hold hot dough in one hand and little hot chips in the other and not know what to do with it. And they would mush it together in their mouths and chew and make a patty.
I need to do something with this goodness that I have in my
One
hands.
day a mommy figured it all
Yeah,
out.
so she brought out a pan and she said, spit that out.
Polio vaccine
Should have shut my mouth.
is younger than John McCain. And finally, Alaska is younger than John McCain.
Well, Alaska becoming a state.
Right.
Alaska itself.
But it wasn't Alaska.
What was it?
It was just...
Shithole with dummies on it.
Yeah.
And it still is.
Yeah.
Hey, shithole with dummies, get over here. We're taking your fucking place and calling it ours. Yeah, you can vote. There's 9 of you. Fucking drunks.
50 caliber ricochets hits gunner in ear protection. Yeah, Danny was selling this bit today. Actually, it's a little bit of audio. I don't know. I guess we're about to hear exactly what I said. 50 caliber ricochets, and I guess you could hit it, hear it hitting the gunner in the ear protection. Let's see what this is about. Okay, Danny, is that right? Pretty much pretty much nailed that one.
Yeah, it's actually a 50 cal cannon, and it's propped up, and he's sitting down with his ear protection on. It looks like they've been shooting for like the day, like they went out shooting to a nice range, and this happened.
Woo! That's the last one of them we're doing. Am I bleeding? No. Whoa. I got you right in the side of your head. Where'd it hit? Right in the side of my head. We're not doing that anymore. Nope, no more iron.
We're not going to do that anymore.
Goddamn.
Wow.
We're not doing that no more. You heard it go. Like, came in like incoming.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
What, and it just ricocheted off a rock or something that they were hitting at? Or a
Yeah,
side
they were firing at like a rock face. I don't want to say like a mountain, but yeah, there you go.
Is that it?
Oh, you got the video?
Jesus.
You can even see the shell come back.
That's crazy.
You might want to skip
Wait, how
ahead just
far
a little
away
bit.
is he? Is he a quarter mile away?
God damn.
It bounced.
Yeah, that's pretty
It
far.
bounced back
far.
a quarter mile and hit him in the ear? That's almost impossible.
Bam!
Oh, holy shit!
Damn.
His headgear came completely off.
It comes flying off his head. And at one point, the cameraman, he reaches down to actually pick up the ear protection. And for a couple of frames, you could actually see, unfortunately, it just passed, but you could see the damage it did to the ear protection. And those cans are pretty heavy duty.
Where's this video for everybody? I saw
this is up on YouTube. If you just type in 50 caliber ricochet.
Guy hit in head with 50 caliber ricochet.
He did it
There
on
you go.
purpose? That was a good shot.
Damn, what are the odds?
You wouldn't be able to do that again if you tried.
But if he wasn't wearing that ear protection, I mean, he was dead.
Right.
That was death.
That's the actual background on the guys who made that clip.
What? Steve?
I found the guys.
You highlighted the important part of it.
Sorry, I was just telling you where to start. I found the info on the guys who.
He's getting mad. No,
wasn't
he's
mad.
right. He's right.
No,
I was being
he was being a wise ass, and I told him exactly what I was doing.
And you put him right in his place.
I'm wearing a dickie.
Yes, thank you.
That's his imitation of himself.
Yes, exactly.
I want to pull his shirt all the way down to where a shirt should be and watch his little shoulders slump. Ouch. This is uncomfortable.
Please don't do that.
I'm uncomfortable.
Flow heat, Steve. Flow heat. You dry those on.
Is that true?
Yes.
I don't fucking know these
How
things.
hot are you drying them?
High heat.
Jesus
That's bad.
Christ.
I heat
I bet
for
he's
my
had to
shirt.
fold them. There's no fucking wrinkles left. He pulls it out with one hand. It's stiff.
Steve, your clothes are getting a little tight.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's because I gained about fucking 30 pounds since I stopped training so hard.
Why?
Why did you gain 30 pounds, Steve?
Because
train
I
when he's
fucking
got a
stopped lifting as
bad
hard
disc.
after my shoulder started hurting, and then I didn't stop eating less.
Are you not eating healthy? Come on, tell the truth.
I eat
It's
healthy
hard.
until
You
about
had a rough time. I mean,
I eat healthy until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I completely fall off the fucking rails.
Did you just put your hand up to Jimmy like?
Well, he was telling me he was Jimmy answer.
He was doing his no.
Because I was saying
do
that
there.
we know
No, no.
Steve has gone through a rough time personally. It's like sometimes it's difficult to fucking maintain everything when you
Why are you eating now, Steve? Aren't you going to stretch out your stomach again?
you look.
Yeah, I puke a lot. I puke a lot because I was eating too much.
No, but if you eat too much, can't you actually stretch it back out?
Yeah, you can. Well, you can stretch it back out, but before the actual stretching happens, you vomit.
Really?
So yeah, I fucking wear out the back of my teeth. So I'll get. I'm getting back on track. But I start physical therapy today, so hopefully I'll be back in the gym
The
in a couple
real
months.
problem is not the gym.
No.
The real problem
is psychological.
Is whatever little Stevie C is dealing with.
That's
inside.
right. Oh boy, little Stevie.
Another
That's
lonely
right.
man in the room.
That's right.
This room is filled with very
Filled with
lonely people.
lonely men.
Lonely men trying to fill in the
We're
hurt.
just all lonely men. Shut up, Stan.
When he was just a small little Steve C.
Yeah.
That's right, and he got in the wrong person's car.
Yep. Remember that, Steve?
That almost happened to me
You
when I was a
touched
kid,
your
actually.
wee-wee.
Did it?
Yeah, according to my mother, I used to fucking get
He
lured away.
almost came twice in my ass. No?
Wow.
Implies he
I
got
had
fucked and he came and the rape was complete.
You almost got lured?
My mother has told me on a number of
It's a
occasions
burger
when
on
I
a
was younger, I
string.
used to get lured away to.
I'm sorry.
I don't have headphones on, so I can't hear you interrupting.
good.
But a number of occasions?
On at least 3 occasions, she can
Oh, you were
remember
a
vividly
doll,
where
then.
I was lured away by strangers with candy.
How
you're
molestable and dumb
adorable
were
then.
you?
I was like 3 years old, molestable, and very dumb, apparently.
Someone got him.
Yeah, someone must
You
have
don't
got
get
3
lured away
times
3
the
times.
charm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
He went to the dance at least once.
Yeah, come on.
Mother knows about it. There was 3 times she had to stop him from getting in the car, but one time she saw him getting out.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And that candy had a cream filling.
Yes, and Steve had little sticky candy stuff on his, but she knew something happened because he had little sticky candy things on his fingers, yet he was still crying. Now, what kind of boy eats candy and is still crying?
Little Stevie?
That's
What
right.
happened?
I don't know. I have
boy.
no recollection of a lot of events pre-5th grade, probably.
boy.
So.
Oh, no.
Pre-5th grade?
Well, I mean, there's
I remember
spotty.
kindergarten. Vividly.
Yeah, pre-5 years old.
One minute he's looking at
wow.
a candy cane, the next minute he's 17.
Yeah. I don't know what happened in between.
What do you think that's
all a
about?
big
That's
blank.
fucked up. Most people know.
Well, I mean,
have
like
a lot
spotty.
of memories
I mean-
before 5th grade.
No,
that
I
they
mean, I have
remember.
recollections, but nothing very.
As spotty as the blood in your underwear?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, old tummy sleeper Steve. He was belly sleeper Steve.
Is that where that comes from? I
Yes,
wondered.
it sure is.
Laying down.
He sleeps on his stomach with his head tilted and his hands just docile behind him because that's the only way he could sleep with his rump sore. He had to tell all his friends he had a bike accident. I hit a pothole.
The seat popped off.
That's right. And I went in a pothole and I went in and out for 40 minutes. And then I was dumped back in my front yard with teeth prints in my back.
With shitty candy. The molester didn't even have good candy for me.
That's right. Whenever you wanted to cry, the molester would just reach around and put a piece of sucking candy in your mouth.
They gave you Necos
Poor Steve.
and Mary Jane's.
A piece of sugar sucking candy. It wasn't even good.
Yeah, just awful candy. Let's think of how awful the candy was. I'm going Mary Jane's.
Or Smarties.
Yeah, a little package of Smarties.
Yeah,
Here you go,
candy corn.
kid.
Or-
Thanks for the fun.
Or Domino's sugar cubes. Or a salt lick like a fucking deer. Brutally
Now-
fucked while licking a piece of salt. Brutally fucked.
Now you're hurting my childhood, Jimmy, because we were very poor and we had to like suck on the little sugar cubes for treats.
Really?
Yeah, man. We didn't have all those cookies and all that fun stuff in our
Sugar
house.
cubes?
Yeah, I'd sneak the
Nice
sugar
bunch of
cubes.
maniacal little kids running around like crazy.
Yeah.
On a sugar high. Wonderful.
Let's get the fuck out of here. Line of the Day is brought to you
Right.
by CardScan.
Yeah.
Get all of your contacts organized in just a few seconds. I know what's going on here, by the way. Will Chapman listens to our regular radio show, sees all the clients that are advertising on that show, and he brings them over to XM.
No problem
It's
there.
actually brilliant. And we like this thing. It's you get all your contacts, all your business cards, and you put them into a nice little system.
Yep. Put them through. It's so easy. You scan the card, but it doesn't just scan them and stuff. Then it puts links on the phone numbers. It just knows what a phone number looks like when you scan it. It knows what an address looks like and the name. So you say you're looking for something. You could search the whole database and just put in carpenter.
Right.
And then the card that you slid in for your carpenter comes up.
Yep.
It knows. And then the number's there. Click on it.
Most client meetings we hate, but this one we actually really enjoyed. Cause
I was very impressed.
It was very interesting.
Very impressed.
But like, how the fuck does
Does
it
it
do
know?
that? Because then it knows the phone numbers, and then you just click on that phone number, and all of a sudden it's dialing the
Yep.
number for you.
Amazing.
Unbelievable. Go to cardscan.com.
Fucking easy.
Yeah.
It really is. Cardscan.com/radio. The number 1. So radio 1. Don't spell out 1.
Fucking hate that. You get a business card, you got to type it into your BlackBerry.
Yeah.
It's fucking 30 seconds wasted. No?
We're in a topsy-turvy, get-it-done-now kind of world.
Someone is guessing it was pixie sticks. The molester
God.
gave Steve pixie sticks after he molested him.
I think it was wax teeth.
That's right. Don't bite your tongue while this goes in. There's some wax teeth shit there. Jesus.
Shit.
I bet you the guy was a brutal fuck too. He would only pull Steve's trousers down a little bit, his tough skins.
Oh, those
His
little
his
tough
huskies.
skins.
He had husky tough skins.
Okay.
He got a fucking beautiful
All right.
rump pad. Ooh.
I'm just watching First Time Anal while you do this.
Who?
Wow.
It was up here.
What are you talking about? It was
I don't
up
know.
there.
It's called First Time Anal. It was up on the other computer screen, so I clicked play.
Speaking of
and
anal,
she's
what
crying.
the hell did I just hear from
Me.
the other
Oh,
side
by
of
the
the
way, that was
studio?
me who farted
Oof.
this morning.
I know it was.
Oh, okay.
Why wouldn't you admit it?
Because it was fun not to. I always admit it.
Look that
I like
good.
not admitting it. Just being silent for once.
Who is leaving the Opie and Anthony show at the end of the month?
Oh, she ain't happy with that fucking ass fucking she's getting.
Will you put it up on a bigger screen for us?
I can't. I
Guy's
can't.
awful looking, too.
Yeah.
Here is a runner-up line of the day. But then we learned that he had a buddy pass. What's a buddy pass?
Let's say somebody you know works for the airline. And they will have some type of sodomy with you.
The pass with a hole drilled in it.
That was a good one.
Let's go right to the next runner-up line of the day. He couldn't possibly have anything on this.
Yes.
It's fake. It's a nice dickie you're wearing. Jesus.
Thank you. The video.
How short is that shirt?
I know. I washed
What's the matter
it.
with you?
I washed it
I
once.
know. Where'd you dry it, on Venus?
One more runner-up?
That guy's giving her ass a fucking...
Wow, he is pounding her ass.
I wouldn't know because I don't see
She is
it.
not enjoying it.
He's fucking that ass.
How do you know it's the
He was
first?
pulling it all the way out and shoving it in.
Yeah, he's not... This guy,
Look at, he's just slamming it. He's like,
that guy doesn't take any guff.
no.
How do you know it's the first anal, though?
Because it says it on the, look, first time anal, so it means
You
it's
hope it
got to
is.
be the first time.
This guy is really pounding her asshole. I wish I could fuck
Says,
like that.
The break-in period is pretty harsh for this one. The more she cries, the bigger your boner gets.
What the hell, dude?
She's not happy with this ass dicking she's getting.
That's right. I'm happy with it. Yeah, Bob Vila's raping her. That guy's awful.
I was thinking Richard from Survivor.
Yeah, he does look like Richard. Well, he's probably used to ass fucking, but not on a chick.
Here's another runner-up line of the day.
I've been watching that show Carrier on Discovery. It's a whole documentary on it's not about you, Jimmy. Carrier.
Carrier. Line of the day.
I better eat some gum so I don't have tuna breath.
Tuner.
That fucking can of tuna is good. I'm trying to eat healthy.
You have enough celery there?
I know. Well, Kenny bought. That's all they sell it in.
Why would you?
I didn't want all that celery. What do I know? Kenny's a celery.
Celery's good for like one stalk tops.
That's what I told him.
Half a stalk. How many?
He fucking lives for celery. His nickname's the Celery Kid. We all know that.
The Celery Kid.
You got at least a pound of celery there.
Oh,
what
my
the
God.
fuck are you gonna do with
I
that?
don't know. It sounds like his hair when it breaks. That's what Kenny's hair sounds like when he combs it. A bunch of celery stalks being snapped over a ledge.
Here is your line of the day.
Here comes line of the day. Line of the day.
Yeah.
7.8 on the Richter scale doesn't move this iceberg.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything with a little spanking. You have to pull her hair, like you have to tie her head to a horse and then hit it. Watch the horse take off. Any kind of reaction out of her. That's jaded.
Pooh.
That's too short.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
That tag.
Someone's saying maybe it's just me, but Jimmy's XM mic sounds like he's talking into a tin can lately.
No, that was...
All right, that's why the guy said.
Was I too? How's that sound?
It was because there were two mics pointed towards you at the same time.
No.
That's all the mics want. The goodness.
I know, but sometimes we have to deny them a little.
I
For the
talk
good
to
of
this
the
one.
show.
Whatever. I don't care.
Oh, and Steve wrote back.
Yeah.
Jimmy's not gonna be happy about this. Steve wrote
I'll
back.
tell him what I said.
A lot of that has to do with the fact that Jim needs to work on talking into the mic and not off to the side.
you didn't.
I can't even argue. Steve raised a good point. I just haven't been as lucky as him. Maybe if I had a hand on the back of my head all the time, I'd be better talking into the mic. Get it?
Maybe we
Dick
should
sucking
try
joke.
that.
Nah, you're right. He's right, actually. I was off
They're
mic.
just discussing this on my email. You don't have to fucking CC me on this. Because then,
CC, blind CC,
the person that
copy
started
paste.
this said, I thought that might be it, but wasn't sure. Why do I need that email?
And it was quickly corrected by your competent show staff.
Wow.
That's right. They did run right in. Bada beep, bada boop. He wants to talk.
Problem
And the
solved.
first Earl was drilled in 1859 in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And we got
Different dates. I don't care about the oil anymore.
Yeah, fuck the oil.
How we run out of oil that quick when they say, "Oh, we're like it's almost out."
We haven't. They just don't want to drill in certain places. I hate trees.
Drill everywhere. Drill everywhere.
No.
Trees are shit dicks.
No.
There should be
No, you gotta save
all over the
environment.
ocean.
petrified forest, a bunch of fucking scared trees. Fucking knock it over already. Boo. Faggots. What the fuck do we need trees for? Just make air. Photosynthesis. Really?
Photosynthesis.
Spies photosynthesis. Remember I said this, trees are for queers. I don't value fucking plant life at all. It's shit.
You're eating it. Yeah, fuck it.
I'm not eating plant life. I'm eating some tuna.
And no, the celery was there.
The celery's just sitting there.
No one thinks about plant life
Fuck it.
as life. You fucking step on it all the time. If there were little fucking baby puppies on your front property instead of grass, would you walk all over it?
And cut it, yes.
Cut it?
Gotta mow the fucking grass just as it's starting to grow up and come of age. It's starting to see the world finally. We have to mow it with our mowers. I want to see a baby sapling and fucking just karate kick it. I've always wanted to be big just so I could fucking bend trees with my foot.
Baby sapling.
Like a little one, just like a little sap comes out.
Yeah.
The first apple is hanging off it, and I just come over and break it.
But it's so happy that it's finally growing fruit.
A little sapling.
I know.
I can't do that to the little fella.
You should see the look on a tree's face when I fucking hook a handcuff up to my fucking trailer hitch, and I drive away with it. Just rip it out by the roots and giggle. What do you think of that, stupid? Fucking hate trees. So overrated. Joyce Kilmer was a fucking douchebag. Fools. Poems are wrote by fools like me, but only God can make a tree.
Ugh.
Joyce Kilmer sucked.
How do you even know that, though?
That's a very famous
That's one of
quote about
those.
his shitty poem.
Stupid. Fuck the trees.
What do they
You're
do?
right.
Birds hang out and shit all over your car. It's not helpful. I hate blades of grass, too.
A blade of grass.
Yeah. Just cut it all. Make cement. Fuck the difference. Parking lots. All front yards should be parking lots.
Not handier.
Exactly. All your friends can come over. Park anywhere. What happened to those trees? They were annoying me. They were blocking my view. Fucking cut them all down. Pave the whole joint over. Fucking bowl in the front yard if you want now.
We gotta go, I guess.
Yeah. All right.
So I guess you're enjoying these wildfires, Jimmy, if you don't like trees.
I love them. There's nothing that makes me happier than seeing a bunch of black just smoke where trees used to be. I fucking love, like when you see a landscape and they're all even Steven.
But there, look, it looks sad. That's where trees and bushes and plant life was.
Exactly. What do
Jimmy.
they do to stop the fire? Trees beg for fire. They really are. I'd rather have gas cans in front of my house. They're fucking totally worthless.
How do they beg for fire?
They do nothing. Every year there's fire, and every year they just stand there like dummies and take it. How about you drip a little, you save some rainwater or something, you fucking asshole. They just drink it up like dopes. Just spit some rainwater back at it. They're built to be walked on. Fucking birds live in them. Fucking, like, bees hang out on them. We make paper out of them. They do nothing. We wipe our assholes with trees. Is that great? Big, mighty creature. That's what you get. Anything that wants to fuck with a tree can. They have no defense.
God.
Fucking bark.
So they should save some of the water and keep themselves nice and moist.
Of course they should. Next time a fire comes, they fucking contribute a little. They're just waiting for us to do all the legwork.
Just sit there waiting for the fire.
That's all they do. They're probably just shaking, like looking at each other like, is someone going to help?
I cannot wait to see that animation.
All right.
God
We learned a lot
Jimmy.
today. And now we have to do it again tomorrow.
Yep.
Holy shit, is this getting old?
Thank you for applying to the retarded fast food service industry. Please watch this training video to help acclimate you with your new position.
Now you gotta do your work and you gotta do it good. You should have been left in the dumpster behind Planned Parenthood.
When you're done with work, you can go home, even though you're lacking a chromosome.
And you gotta work fast and you gotta work hard, cause after all, you're just a big-tongued retard. Big-tongued retard.
Lacking a chromosome.
Welcome to the team.